Oh, except for I want to change that. Whoops. Not that. No, no. No, stop.
Oh. No, cancel.
There. Okay. Are we live? We are live. Okay. Go away, mouse. Checking all the stuff. Checking the mic. Checking.
Yeah, we'll figure that out for next time.
Go away, mouse.
I gotta open up.
I wasn't like 100% sure I wanted to do it because it makes editing videos harder. But it was
It would just be interesting to see what it looks like.
I know, right? I'll show you what it looks like when Jake eventually puts up the RD awards. Whenever that happens. Okay, that works. That's good.
Says you start a meeting or webinar as the host. In the top right corner, click View, and then you click Immersive.
Hit that button.
But I don't know if I can do that on here.
We might. It's fine. We'll check it another time. We'll check it another time. But in the meantime, click like and subscribe. And do all the things. You know, like and subscribing.
All of the things.
Do you know you're liking and subscribing?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Well, hi there.
All right.
It's that time of the week where
Just
we
plugging
sit
in the
down
information
and
into
talk
the
about
thing.
and movies and
And we're
television,
doing that.
video games, like we do a podcast
We're
called
doing that. We are opening that.
All of the things.
Johnny, you liking
Opening
and subscribing?
that.
Good, you can hear us.
We're opening that.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
That was the wrong direction.
We're gonna move.
Ugh.
We're gonna do this in a backwards fashion, Jordan.
I understand.
Put that there. We're gonna put that up there. And we're gonna put that
Control Delete.
up there. And then we're gonna put
Welcome to the Spur of the Moment podcast. This episode is brought to you by
that.
the letters F and U.
That's friendship.
Um,
Sorry, hold on. Say that again. Say that again. I can do it
Friendship
better.
and Unity.
Yeah, but I could do it better. I could give it to me again. Give it to me again.
This episode is brought to you by the letters F and U.
Which, as we all know, stands for Friends United. That's better. That's better. It's better. That it's less clunky. In 3, 2, 1. This podcast is brought to you by the Arte Media Pantheon. Please head to artemedia.org to see all kinds of podcasts from our great friends. And if you'd like to start your own podcast, they can provide you with the tools and resources to do so there. So please head to artemedia.org. That's ARETE media.org. Jordan, on with the show, Jordan.
It's cold!
It's cold. We're cold. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm wearing a jacket. You can still see the logo. If you're listening to this on other platforms like Spotify, I'm wearing
You
a
would
jacket
never know.
because I'm cold. You know now because I told you. Welcome to the Spur of the Moment podcast. I'm your host, Justin Spurr. As always,
I have a jacket on.
Nobody
as well.
cares that you're wearing a jacket, Jordan. Why did you even bring it up?
And 2 blankets.
Why, Jordan? Nobody cares. Why did you bring it up?
I care. It's cold.
It's my co-host. It's the incomparable Jordan.
It's cold.
He's incomparably cold. Not compared to how cold he is, except for people who are way colder. And on today's show, first, I think we're going to jump into some big, good time, fun time, comment response time. Then, we're going to do the news. And the news involves just a shit ton of trailers. So many trailers.
Dragon Ball.
Talk about Dragon Ball. We can talk about He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. We can talk about just a lot. There's a lot of news. We've got so much news. It's a jam-packed show. And then we're gonna talk about cute animals and cute animal movies.
Cute animal
They're
movies,
so
and some which are just less cute.
They're cute. Every animal is cute.
No, but I'm in the movies are
Oh
less cute.
no, yeah, no. Some of them I went. You're a literal monster. Anyway, let's start with some good fashioned, good time by time, mostly timed. Um, the
Comment?
comments and responses. Let's start with our video on that why that cameo in the Flash was ghoulish and awful, and
Which it is.
which it is. But I got this comment twice this week, and I'm gonna tag it off this other comment we got on TikTok, where it was a video of I was talking about how we're not really into Warhammer, and someone said, "Wow, two old white nerds who aren't into Warhammer." That's a shock, and I went, that feels like a fair hit. That felt fair.
I mean, a lot of my friends were into Warhammer.
They are also all old white nerds, so you know.
I mean, at this point, they are. I mean, what do you define as old? I'm only 34. But like, no, I mean, yeah. Hey, to be fair, you know, in order to really get into Warhammer, you had to get like all of the figurines and paint them, and you needed money and space. Do you have any idea how much room all of those figures take up?
How much not money?
You think I had you think I had that kind of money and space? Come on.
Also, apparently, Kirk Allen played the serial Superman in the late 40s, and George Reeves was TV Superman plus Superman and the Mole Men. I think I might have called him 40 Superman. I think it's more accurate to say he's probably more like 50 Superman, but he's still Superman. And then this is my personal favorite. Someone left a comment that said, "What a catfishing!" This is about completely different movie called Hollywoodland, because he capitalized the L for some reason. Apparently, Ben Affleck played there a guy pretending to be Superman. He played a guy who played Superman. This have nothing to do with the Flash movie. Why are you lying to people in such obvious way? And better question, people! This was all capitalized. How we could get that bait so easily.
What?
I'm pretty sure you don't understand what a catfish is.
Well, no, I mean, you could be. How were you catfishing? Did you put something to do with the Flash on the poster, or?
No, number one, it's not catfishing. It's probably generously clickbait, but
Rage bait, clickbait, whatever.
It's not,
I mean,
because that was what we talked about. We talked about the history of George Reeves and why that cameo is extra ghoulish. Which we got another comment that was basically like, it was super ghoulish. He hasn't seen the actual Flash movie, refused to because of that sequence. He found the whole thing soulless and ghoulish. The circumstances of George Reeves' death makes it particularly ghoulish. And yeah, exactly. That's exactly the point. One comment got it, Jordan. One guy got it.
One guy understood.
We got a couple comments on a Green Hornet video of the other three people who also like that movie being like, I love that movie.
Oh, so now there's 6. There's 6 people that like it.
People who like that movie.
We're growing. We've got a cult following going. We've doubled our membership.
And then one person said, it's because Seth Rogen is a terrible actor who decides to be an activist and demonize half the country. I'm not really sure where they're getting that from, but all right.
I mean, what?
What?
Is he doing activist shit?
I clearly I guess he is.
Maybe he is. Perhaps he is. I mean, that's just his Canadianism showing.
So this is funny. I'm so what's the word? Got PTSD from comments that. So someone left a comment on my unpopular opinion about Sinners, which once again I recognize unpopular opinion. But someone left a comment that says "great take," and I don't know if that's meant to be sarcastic or not, or if he legit means it.
I mean, if there's no indicator that it is sarcastic, then I would just take it with good faith.
And then someone left a comment that kind of made my point, which was did I respond to it? Oh yeah, him being two people is great. Then he tried to break down like the difference between the two versions of Michael B. Jordan in that movie, and he said there were a few times where they were hard to tell apart, which
so then you've made his
undercuts the entire point of what you're trying to say, and and makes my point, which is to say, like, yeah, the performances individually are good as the individual characters, but like, if you're trying to make it believable that he's two different people, I still maintain it doesn't work. But you kind of made my point by being like, I had trouble telling them apart at times. That means he's not doing a good enough job distinguishing the two.
To
characters.
Distinguish, yeah.
And then on our video about who is in charge of Star Wars now, someone left a comment that was, isn't this a good thing? Executives finally understanding that there is a difference between understanding the money crunchers and the businesses versus exploring the creative opportunities in this world that they're expanding. And yes, I do. I do think that having two people at the top be in charge of a thing and having one person be in charge of all the creative decisions and one person being in charge of the money, I definitely think that helps the product. I mean, clearly, because Marvel has been a successful franchise for like literal decades. So, and that's what they did. They put Kevin Feige in charge of all the creative shit, and then they let someone else be in charge of the money, and it's working out for them. Same thing with DC. Say what you will, they're making money. It's working out for them. So
yeah, they're getting better now. Yeah.
I think that's it, Jordan. I think that's all the fun comments. Someone recommended Red Dwarf, which I've always wanted to watch. It's basically like Star Trek, but it's a comedy. They're like, it does exist. It's called Red Dwarf. That's it. That's all the comments we got this week. Oh yeah. So before we jump into the news, we are at
and for the record, we always welcome more comments.
Obviously, yeah. As long as they're not mean. We don't like the mean ones, but hey, if you want to leave a mean one, I mean, go for it. It's good. It's good for engagement, but I will not respond or engage with them.
I mean, unless it's constructive.
Yeah.
Like if it's constructive criticism, that's one thing, but like idiotic comments are not worth mentioning.
They're not worth mentioning. And then before we jump into the news, I wanted to do an update. We are at 362 subscribers. Thank you everyone who has joined on to our little band, our merry band of gentlemen. And
Woo!
I want to remind everyone that at every 100 subscribers there is a reward, and the 400 subscriber reward is I'm going to douse a serrano pepper in some hot sauce. I'm going to buy the smallest, most spiciest one I could possibly pick up, and I'm going to douse it in ghost pepper hot sauce, and I will eat it at the end of the stream, because I just don't think I'm going to be able to continue powering through a stream with my mouth on fire.
And I'll eat something with some sort of sauce.
We're exploring options. We're exploring options for Jordan. A less spicy option that I will probably also try because I'm curious, but we're exploring options.
We've got some ideas.
Unless a comment gives us better ideas.
Yeah, what ideas that I won't kill me.
Or me.
No. You're a masochist. You like the pain.
I do like the pain.
But I'm not a spicy boy.
That's 38 subscribers away, people. It's coming up fast. We hit 362 way faster. I was expecting to get closer to 400 by the end of the end of 2026. We are trucking along. We increase our subscribers.
We're not even out of the first month yet.
First month, we might get to 500 by the end of the year. Like, that would be sick. And just a reminder, at 500, I will eat a habanero pepper on stream. And then at 1,000, or maybe I should hold off on the habanero and do the habanero at 1,000.
I don't know. All I know is that at 5,000, we will inject hot sauce into your veins.
No. But that's coming. Subscribe to us for that. Get your friends to subscribe to us for that, because
10,000?
No, that's exciting.
20,000.
Absolutely not.
How high does it have to be for you to consider it?
There's no number that will get me to consider injecting hot sauce into my veins. Jordan, we're not going to spend too much time on this. I got a lot of news. I got a lot of news this week, and I feel like we're going to get stuck on a couple of things. So we're gonna speed through. I've separated this into two bits. If you want to hear thoughts on trailers, that's coming, but that's coming in the second half of the news. We're gonna do the rapid fiery news stuff first, because I always make the mistake of doing the rapidy news stuff second, and we just don't have the energy for it after we do all the heavy stuff. So this is gonna be fast stuff. But they announced the Oscar nominations. I'm not gonna go through them, because honestly, we're going to do an Oscars episode, and that will be the space where we talk about these movies, whether or not they deserve it. I did think it was funny. The day I put out our Sinners video was the day they announced the announcements, and Sinners has been nominated for just a shit ton. So we're probably going to come back to Sinners. Jordan will probably. I don't want to make any promises, but he might watch Sinners. I'm going to try to watch as many of the Best Picture nominees as I can. I've already seen 2 of them. I've seen Frankenstein. I've seen Sinners. I really want to see Marty Supreme and Hamnet. So that's on my list. Best animated. I've seen a ton of people be like, why do the Huntrix people keep performing Golden over and over again? It's because they were going to get nominated for an Oscar, and they did. Golden got nominated for an Oscar. Surprising, literally no one. Don't be surprised when that movie wins Best Animated Picture, which it is nominated for. I liked Elio and I liked Zootopia, but just the sheer cultural phenomenon that K-pop Demon Hunters is, it will absolutely win Best Animated Picture. I am predicting that now. But yeah, we're gonna go into more detail when it gets closer to March 15th. We're gonna do an Oscars episode like we did last year because those episodes are fun. So look forward to that. Jordan, what are your thoughts on the Oscar nominations?
I have no thoughts on the Oscar nominations.
I'm kidding. But also along with the really okay.
My thoughts on the Oscar nominations are the same thoughts that I have every year. Who actually cares about the Oscars?
I mean, I kind of do. It's kind of fun to be like, oh hey, I'm actually in touch with the culture for once. That's kind of nice. But Jordan, with the Oscars comes the Razzies, which I can't believe they're still doing the Razzies. But they're apparently still doing
those are the ones where it's like bad, right?
Yeah, it's the Oscars, but bad. But and everyone's been like, why do we still do the Oscars? We're in a point culturally where nobody feels comfortable being like, that movie's bad nowadays, because we all realize that the people making the movies are humans. But
and then there's us. That movie's bad.
We're pretty good about not doing that anymore. We've kind of ceased that because it's reductive. And it boils it down to its simplest part, where it's like, oh, it's just bad, but there's so much more to it.
We at least try to explain why it's bad.
Yeah, we inject an element of nuance, but for worst picture, we've actually seen a lot of these movies. Well, I've seen a lot of these movies. The Electric State, which was that one with
that's the Millie Bobby Brown, Chris Pratt one.
Chris Pratt one. Yeah. A Disney Snow White. Hurry Up Tomorrow, which I've never heard of, Star Trek 31, Section 31, and War of the Worlds. And I've seen clips of that War of the Worlds movie, and it's just, I think it's Ice Cube sitting in front of a computer screen, and that's the whole movie. Which, to be fair,
I mean, isn't that what most of the story is?
Well, yeah. To be entirely fair to that movie, I do want to watch it. It's on my list, but that's kind of what War of the Worlds was like. The War of the Worlds was originally a radio broadcast of one guy reading a radio broadcast that everyone thought was real. So the modern equivalent to that, to me, logically, is a guy doing a live stream. So like, it makes sense conceptually. Now in execution, I'm sure it's bad, but Jordan, Jared Leto got nominated for worst actor, which like I don't feel that's fair. I don't think
for Tron.
For Tron, yeah, I don't think that's fair.
I don't think he's that bad in that.
I think he was that bad. He's not the worst part of that. I think that the janky story elements were the worst part of that.
Yeah, for me, it's not his acting which is necessarily the worst part. Arguably, you can argue about how bad it actually is. For me, it's the writing.
Yeah, that's all. I think anybody's performance in that I would characterize as being particularly bad.
Not like egregiously
is his
bad.
A tad flat, sure, but he's a computer character. Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I mean, he's not perfect, and I won't lie and say that. Like I said in our review, his appearance just automatically deflates my bubble and makes me
a little bit. Yeah,
but like that's not the movie's fault.
But I think that if he had been given a better script, maybe this could have changed people's perceptions of him.
Perhaps some of these categories are silly. So obviously you've got Jordan worst remake / ripoff / sequel, which has Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and Snow White, and it's got others, but the others don't matter.
What's the category? Sorry, I missed that. I was taking my hood off.
Worst remake / ripoff / sequel. So it's like I Know What You Did Last Summer, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Smurfs, because apparently a Smurfs movie came out this year, Snow White, and War of the Worlds. And then what's the other one that's worth talking about? Oh, you've got Worst Screen Combo, which is all of the Seven Dwarves and Snow White. Ice Cube and his Zoom camera. That's funny. Robert De Niro and Robert De Niro. The Weeknd and his colossal
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but the Razzies seem way more fun than the Oscars.
They do, but they are really mean spirited. Like I do think the Oscars. But to be fair, when you reduce the Oscars to categories like this, it does get a little bit. It loses its prestige, I guess is how I would put it. But and this I felt the person I felt the most bad for. Was our good friend at the Party of Broadway World podcast, Haley, who, when these nominations came out, my thing, or the Oscar nominations came out, my thing was, oh, Nuremberg didn't get nominated. That's surprising. Historical dramas and true stories usually get nominated.
Yeah, like an Oppenheimer.
Yeah, like Oppenheimer, exactly, precisely. And then she texted me very distraught that Wicked didn't get a single nomination. And that made me go, oh, no, I forgot Wicked came out. Oh, right.
So did everyone else, apparently.
So many funny videos of, like, people last year being like, yeah, when Wicked inevitably gets nominated for a bunch of Oscars. But, like, and this is where I have to be fair and balanced, hashtag fair and balanced, and be like, but, like, okay, it's not going to win for the only thing it might win for is cinematography, and maybe I'm surprised it didn't get nominated for best song, but also like I didn't know which songs were original songs, so like that's probably to the movie's weakness. And then they're not going to nominate Ariana and Cynthia Erivo for best actress and best supporting again, so they're not going to get nominated for that. They already won for best costume last year, so like. I just don't think there's space for them to be re-nominated. Like, you wouldn't nominate people for what is ostensibly the same movie twice.
I mean, not if you expected to win.
No.
You didn't win last time for it. Why would you this time?
Right, yeah. And there's just, it's not... They've already been recognized for one of the Wicked, so I could see why the Academy, for a lot of the categories. But I'm very surprised they didn't get nominated for Best Song. I really am.
I mean, clearly there wasn't a song that was that they thought would win it.
So okay, here's what I will say. This modern for this next story, as just to preempt it. The modern perception of media in Hollywood, and the idea of like it being a political system. And all that jazz, it's fairly new. The idea that a person was fired from a thing is so sometimes you just don't bring characters back. Sometimes you just don't use characters in the next thing. Doesn't mean there's anything malicious about it. So there's this new Star Wars show, or Star Trek show, that's come out called Starfleet Academy, and it's being accused of being woke or whatever. And that always makes me and Jake laugh because we're like currently watching Star Trek for our podcast, the Final Frontier podcast. Star Trek has always been woke.
That's kind of the point of it. It's supposed to be
deal. Now
it's supposed to be far in the future where they've moved past all this bullshit.
But that's not. Here's what I will say. Yes, it is absolutely ahead of its time in terms of its interactions between races and sexes and genders and what have you. It's still a show from the 1960s. So there's times where like they're in a high stress dramatic scenario, and Kirk has to leave somebody in charge, and the next person in charge is Uhura, and because it's the 1960s, some random guy gets put in charge because we can't have the woman. No, certainly not a woman of color. No, can't have a woman be in charge. So yeah, that does happen, but it is a progressive show. It was a ahead of its time show in terms of progressivism. Like yes, they had multiple people of multiple races on that bridge. They had not even just O'Hara as a black woman, but you've got
George Takei.
Thank you, as an Asian man. Like it was a progressive show. So Weirdo Freak.
And isn't Wolf? Wolf is also there,
No,
or is that?
you're thinking of
Is,
Worf, and that's from the Next Generation. He's a
oh,
Klingon.
okay.
Now
Yeah, yeah,
Klingons
yeah.
are a little brown facey, but it's for the most part. Again, occasionally the 1960s rears its ugly head, but for the most part, it is a very progressive show.
It's
Um,
doing its best.
and so, weirdo and freak of the White House, Stephen Miller, pug face, fuck face, shithead, Stephen Miller. I'm sorry, Stephen Miller, you suck, Stephen Miller. He said that Paramount screwed up, and that it was still possible for the studio to make amends with Shatner and save the franchise. Like 90-year-old William Shatner.
Well, okay, all right, sure. I just don't even know what to say about that.
William Shatner responded by being like, call me. We'll get a really old. But to be fair, yeah, he got killed off, and then William Shatner wrote a bunch of fanfic novels that brought the character back from the dead.
Okay.
Like just a bunch of
but
fanfic novels.
But I mean, they're not canon,
no,
so
they are not. According to William Shatner, they're canon. I would kind of like them to like in one of the newer shows just wheel out wheelchair bound William Shatner or Captain Kirk and have him still be sexy. Like just like have him like hit on every woman that moves and have them be like, yeah, he's old, but damn it if he still isn't Captain Kirk. I want like geriatric Captain Kirk in a bed with multiple women. So yeah, the director for Spider-Man 4, Jordan, he was asked about obviously Spider-Man 4, and he said the thing, and this excites me. Now I've heard some rumors about the plot that do not encourage me. One of the rumors I've heard was that they're gonna do the he's having a psychological block and he's losing control of his powers from Spider-Man 2.
Oh, so he's got erectile dysfunction.
I hate that. Don't do that. If you are going to do that, it's going to make me mad. I hate that storyline in Spider-Man 2. I will hate it. I hate it when I hate the trope of superhero loses his powers. I hate it. I've never seen an implementation of it that I like. It's boring, it's lazy, and I can't stand it. But he said
yeah, why do you have to have it where he can't use his powers? Why if you're gonna hoist something like that upon us, why not just give him PTSD and he doesn't want to use his powers?
I don't know, but or just do a Spider-Man movie where he wants to be Spider-Man. You've already made
that's
it.
what I want.
Make that. Like have it where he wants to be Spider, where he's focused on being Spider-Man. What's wrong with that? I'm tired of movies where he doesn't want to be Spider-Man. It's so boring. It's overplayed. It's overdone. We've done it. But the thing he's excited about the director, who I'm excited. It's the director of Shang-Chi. We've already talked about this, but the bus sequence in Shang-Chi, that will make me watch any Spider-Man thing he does. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he does with action and fight sequences. I genuinely am. But he said
he's earned some faith.
He said there's going to be a tone shift, and I'm excited for that. I'm excited.
Interesting. What kind of tone shift do we think?
I'm guessing a bit of a darker one if we're including Punisher. I'm guessing that he's a bit older now. He's going to be a bit tougher, which I'm okay with. Again, I'm okay with. He's not a teenager anymore, and I definitely think that tone shift is necessary. So I'm down for that. Apparently, Jordan. We're shooting through these. Apparently,
it also makes sense. It also makes sense because Norman Osborn kind of had, even within that movie, made him go through a tone shift a little bit.
I mean, he's going to be in a dark place. Just don't. I saw the. I want to see if I can. I want to try and see if we can maybe get them on. But the Escape Pod podcast guys, I saw them talking about the one guy, Hat Guy. He was like, I would hate if they brought Ned and MJ back and they undid the spell. I'll hate that too. I would hate that.
Yeah, like I said, for me, the most that I want to see is like he's stalking them and watching from a distance, but he never interacts with them.
Right.
That's the most that I would want.
Walking cameo at best.
Yeah.
Apparently, Jordan, they're making a new Looney Tunes movie, which good. They should always make more Looney Tunes movie because the Looney Tunes are an underserved bunch of characters. But here's what I'm gonna say. Okay. That's just before I tell you what the character is. Okay, I mean, look, it's Speedy Gonzalez, Jordan. They're working on a Speedy Gonzalez movie, And like I'm like, you know what? We Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck overplayed. He's an underknown character. All right.
I mean, he's not an underknown character for those who know Looney
Yeah, but
Tunes,
compared to
but
Bugs Bunny or
compared to
Daffy Duck
Bugs,
or
yeah,
Porky Pig.
he's one of the outliers, I will say. Interesting.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I mean,
it's an
but
interesting choice, especially
don't
in.
do a movie where you explain why he's fast though. Just don't do that. That's lazy. I don't need you to
I'm
explain why he's
just
fast.
I'm just kind of surprised of the characters that he's kind of in today's day and age, he could be conceived as offensive.
Oh well, number one, it's being directed by a Mexican. Number
Okay,
two,
okay.
I'm sure. Well, I know that they had Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias. Am I getting that name right? Hold on, I don't want to fuck this up. Yeah, Gabriel Iglesias. Yeah, the fat comedian. Oh, I don't like calling him that, but the big guy who's Mexican.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
was Speedy Gonzalez in the Space Jam 2. So he's also Mexican.
Okay. All right.
So, like,
Well, if they're okay with it, then okay. All right.
Yeah, I
Fair
mean,
enough.
look, man, stereotypes are they can be bad, but if you own it,
Like how he had his brother who was always sleepy.
yeah, if you own it
That's
and you make fun of it,
as long as the subjects of it are okay with it, then I have no.
right, exactly, yeah. They're making it, and it's their character, and they can own it. They want to own
Yeah.
it, they can own it.
Now, that being said, if you could choose, let's play a fun game here. If you could choose any Looney Tune character or characters to make a movie about, who would you choose?
I kind of want to do a Sheep Raider movie.
Oh, the Coyote Sheep Raider?
Ralph the Wolf and
Interesting. And the sheepdog.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think that'd be kind of fun. I think that'd be different.
What would you do?
I would explore the dynamics of. I would do a legacy thing where like it's his first day. He comes from a long line of like sheep stealing wolves, and he has to steal wolves, and he comes up against Sam, who's new. And it's about the foundation of their relationship. How they
Interesting.
I love the gag that there's two guys doing a job, and I would love to have a balancing thing of like they both have to live up to the expectation of being a sheepdog, and they work it out together, and that they like how the origin of how they become so cordial. I think it would be kind of fun. I think that'd be kind of a
Interesting.
Fun story.
Interesting.
Either that or Porky Pig. I feel Porky Pig doesn't get enough. Like him and Daffy were fun together. I enjoyed that movie, but a Porky Pig solo movie, and then obviously Bugs Bunny. I want a solo Bugs Bunny movie. There's not enough.
I have two potential ones that immediately come to mind. One is tamer or safer than the other. But the first one that comes to mind for me is a Porky Pig, but with Sylvester.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Sylvester. Yeah, that'd be fun. That would be fun.
Them together, I think that would be a lot of fun. Or, and this one is a little bit of a zanier one, is Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam have to team up together to deal with bugs.
That's an interesting idea. Yeah, have those characters team
and have
up.
it be from their perspective,
like
not bugs.
Do like a Legion of Doom style thing. That'd be kind of fun. So Jordan, last week we talked about they announced the Tangled actor and actress, and we were like, I don't know who this guy is. I've never seen him in anything before in my life. And because this is the internet, and I said that on the internet just all of a sudden inundated me with clips of the guy who's playing Flynn Rider, Eugene
Fitzgerald or whatever.
And I'm just gonna say it, I'm kind of into it. He definitely has the energy. He looks like him. He sounds like him.
You sent me a little clip, and yeah, I it's one of those like I see it, but I'm still not happy that movie exists.
But the only way I like him, I want them to give Flynn a song, a new one. I want them to give him a new song.
Yeah. What would you make the song about? Where would you put it? What would you make it? If you could do anything.
look, my thing is if I'm to do this Tangled movie, I keep it mostly the same, but I add in new details to flesh out characters like they kind of have been doing. So like I would give him kind of an identity thing about like having to be a thief but not wanting to be a thief, and then
Interesting.
And people always making assumptions about him, and then I would have it be where she sees Eugene, and everyone sees Flynn Rider, and he's really Eugene, and she sees Eugene, and that's the foundation of their relationship.
So that's an interesting one. What I would do is I would have it be like basically at the beginning of the movie when him and the two thugs or whatever are stealing the crown, and it's a song about how he loves being an adventurer.
Okay, I could see that. Something uplifting generally is what I would do, or something vaguely sad. Maybe I'd give him a parent that he's attached to or something. I'd maybe form a better connection between him and the twins. Maybe make it so
like I would have it. Yeah, I would have it be where they were like friends or whatever, and like he's singing this song about how I love being an adventurer, da 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 da, and then like have like one of the sections have this part where he's like, but is this all there is?
Something like that,
you know, like that, like or something.
Most of the point is don't give obviously Disney. You're gonna want to do an original song to go for that Oscar nomination. Don't just give another Rapunzel one. She's got enough. She doesn't need more. I don't think Eugene gets enough songs. I just don't.
No, well, that's where it's disappointing. And what's interesting is
he
that
doesn't have any good ones in the Tangled show either. Like,
but he at least sings in that one.
Yeah, but he like more.
Whereas in the movie, he only like has one small part that he sings in the movie, and it's like, but this guy's like a Broadway actor as well.
He's a decent singer. I don't know that he's Broadway level, but he's Zachary Levi. He's a decent singer.
He's a good singer, and they underutilize him.
Yes, and I've seen clips of this guy singing. I think he was in Descendants. So, like, yeah, it's a shame he only gets to sing, like, duet on one song, and it's not even that great of a duet. Look, I See the Light, but as far as duets are concerned, it's an all-right one. I don't think it's the best song in that movie.
No, it's not.
So it's funny. Shia LaBeouf is in the I'm doing conventions part of his career, and so I saw.
Because no one wants to hire him anymore.
I don't know, everyone hits that point, but I saw. I
thought he had some scandal or something which got him canceled.
I don't know, but there was a clip of him. They were asking him what it was like to film Holes, and he's immediately like terrible. He was like,
it was hot, you know. We were out.
Much, yeah. He's like,
most of it was practical, you know.
It's funny because, like, so we talked about Honey Boy and how after he made Honey Boy, he tried to be like, oh, my dad's not like that, because that movie was humiliating to his dad. So he's like, oh, my dad's not like that. So this is the statement he said, which I thought was funny. He said, John Voight is walking around in character. I've never been around someone like that who doesn't break. He's spitting these sunflower seeds around, and he's like mean, and I'm like, nah, this isn't gonna work. And my dad is my dad. He didn't know nothing about that either. So he and my dad had to have this whole thing. And boy, then because my dad's not diplomatic at this point, he's only 4 years out of prison, and John Voight is playing these games, John had to check my dad, which was healthy for my family. It's like, yeah, no, it just sounds like your dad was the character from that movie you did. And exciting, Jordan. This was exciting. And then we'll get into the trailers, and then that'll wrap up the news. We got a shit ton of trailers to talk about. Wait, did
Dragon Ball.
No, well, it's fine. Leica's next movie. They revealed it. It's called Wildwood, and it's coming out in October 23, 2026. Apparently, it's directed by Travis Knight, written by Chris Butler, and it's based on the 2011 novel of the same name. Jacob Tremblay, Carey Mulligan, Awkwafina, Angela Bassett. What's it about? It says Prue McKeel and her best friend Curtis are drawn into a hidden magical forest after Prue's baby brother Mac is kidnapped by crows, led by a mysterious woman named Alexandra. That's what it's about. Interesting.
Sounds fun.
That does sound fun. Look, man, that company can, like, pretty well, as far as I'm concerned, do no wrong.
I mean, don't say that, because then they'll do something that'll... The
closest to doing wrong, I think, that they probably did was Missing Link. That's probably not the strongest one.
And, I mean, even that's not that bad.
No, that one's still pretty well a banger. Or maybe Box Trolls. Box Trolls doesn't stand out. It's good, but it's not great. To me, Kubo and the Two Strings is their opus. I just don't think they're gonna make a better movie than that. I really don't. But I like to see them try. I will support that movie in theaters when it comes out. Just like I'm gonna go watch Avatar, but it's Beavers when it comes out. Everyone
I was
needs to go
gonna
watch
ask-
Avatar, but it's Beavers in theaters.
I was gonna ask if that was out yet. I was like,
March.
that's got to be coming up soon,
Comes
right?
out in March. So Jordan, it's time
Because
for
I'm
a
excited for that one.
big ass trailer roundup. Starting with this morning, Jordan. This morning they literally today they had a Nintendo Direct about it, and it's a new trailer for Super Mario Brothers Galaxy movie dropped. I sent that to you, right?
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did. And boy, howdy, it looks fun.
Yoshi.
Yoshi looks great. I was shocked to see it. Mouser is in the background from Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, I must have missed that one.
Birdo, you see Birdo at one point.
I saw Birdo. Yeah.
Which makes sense. If Mouser is there, then obviously Birdo's going to be there.
Yeah, they're doing that, and there'll probably be other Mario 2
Yeah, I'm guessing
characters.
they must come from a particular world, as I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Guessing this is going to be more of a. It looks to be more of a. They're traveling throughout the worlds kind of deal.
It looks like it's really combining Odyssey and Galaxy.
It was cool to see the guys from Mario Odyssey. That was really cool. Like I say, I love Yoshi. I love his interactions. I love how Toad is jealous. That's great.
I really hope that I really hope that they do a running gag of Yoshi keeps calling Luigi Mama Luigi.
That's what I was hoping for. I'm hoping as well.
And that Mario makes fun of him for it. Like I really hope they do that because that would be a great reference.
It's funny because people give that movie such look. Okay, sometimes a movie can just be thing you recognize. Like, not every movie needs to be creative exploration on the characters and what they mean and their relationships. Not every movie needs to be Sinners. Not every movie needs to win Oscars. Like, sometimes it can just be the thing you recognize. And
well,
that's
especially
fine.
When you remember, it's a kids movie.
Right, exactly.
So, like, it's a kids movie, and they want it to be thing that kid recognizes from game they're playing.
That's fine. You can get
that's
excited
fine.
about things you recognize. Sometimes
that's fine. As long as you go in and you know what you're getting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Like the first one looked like it was thing I recognize, and I was okay with that, and it was,
and it had a lot of things.
Like I guess just because like my frame of reference is the Super Mario Brothers movie from the 90s, and it doesn't look like the thing I recognize. So, like, my inner 7-year-old, more likely my inner 12-year-old who played Super Mario Brothers Sunshine or 64, like, the fact that it looks like that is fucking cool. Like, it floors my inner child in a way that, like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm sitting here watching a Mario movie that looks like the thing.
And I think for me too, what kind of makes me come to that feeling for this is, there are certain franchises where I'm like, I'd like to see an evolution of this, and like more depth and more exploration, and like Mario is not that because Mario has never, even in terms of the games, Mario has never been that.
No, exactly.
You've never done Mario but serious.
Yeah.
So why would you start now with a movie? It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for those characters.
No, yeah. Mario is the movie where it's like just have Yoshi look exactly like Yoshi and have it be amazing. It's not a character. It's not a character or a world that has a lot of depth. So why would you try to shove it in the movie? Put the depth into making it look like the thing, which is what they've done.
Yeah.
Which is what they've done. Speaking of things I wasn't expecting, yesterday they dropped a bunch of Dragon Ball content they announced. Apparently there's new DLC for Sparking Blast. And
excitingly for the Sparking Blast one, because they have had DLC for that game already.
But it's just been characters.
It's just been characters. This is not only features, but from what I saw, this one has story stuff, which is what I'm excited for. So I think a lot of the characters and stuff that you see in there, I can't obviously say for sure, but I suspect for at least a good chunk of them, we are getting full-on what-if scenarios.
I'm hoping. Like, they need to just make a what-if game. We've said this before, but just make... Like, if that game would have been 1,000... The only thing that enticed me to that game was the what-if scenario. So just...
That's the stuff that everybody wants.
Entirely what-if. Like, Just do
in
that.
Sparking Zero, that's the stuff that people want, is the stuff where it
Yeah.
shoots off and it does the
You
what if.
can't
So
tell me that,
make
that people
make
want to play the Saiyan saga or the Cell saga or the Boo saga for the
so
100th fucking time.
so like make a Sparking Zero 2 and lean into that.
Just do that.
Make more what if scenarios.
Like,
Make like go back to Dragon Ball and have it be
spend time. Spend
What if
time.
Raditz was the one that was sent there and knocked his head? Like I want like a what if Cell was good.
Yeah.
I want a
Spend
what if
time,
Frieza wasn't an emperor. Like
spend time working on that what if scenario mechanic that you had that was really underdeveloped in the first.
it is a criminally underutilized thing.
And then they also announced a game where I saw a brief trailer for it, but it looks like it's an original character that you're playing as, and it takes place in the year 1000, age 1000, which is the future.
Interesting.
And he's a Saiyan because he can turn Super Saiyan.
And it's like an adventure, or like a Kakarot, or like a fighting. Do we know?
The only thing I saw was just a brief cycle of animation involving the character turning into Super Saiyan. I did not see much more for that. They also announced that they're bringing.
Maybe
back,
it'll be a new Dragon Ball Online.
Maybe that's what a lot, because apparently that's the same era that the Dragon Ball Online takes
Yeah,
place.
yeah,
That's
it
what a
was.
lot of people are thinking.
That'd be interesting.
In terms of the anime, I can't believe it, but Dragon Ball Super's coming back. The Dragon Ball Super remake that everyone was talking about is real. It's not what people. I don't think it's what people think it is.
Apparently it's a show.
Well, I don't think they're doing the whole show. I think they're just doing the more. Well, maybe they are doing the whole show, but what it looks like is they're doing it like it's a season of regular television, and then they're just focusing on that. So like they've just focused on the Beerus part, and like part of me is like, okay, why? What's the point in this? Why do we need to see the Beerus or Battle of Gods retold for a third fucking time? Who cares? But the other part of me is like, but it's pretty and it looks like it's in the art style of Daima. Like that, and like that first section of that show sucks donkey dick. So like it's bad, like genuinely bad.
Yeah, well, the animation the animation also just feels more like in line with the movie animation too.
Right, but I could just go watch the movie.
Prettier. Well, no, but the thing is that you're gonna get the extended stuff from the show, but in that prettier style. So for the first 2 seasons, I can kind of see that, because the first 2 seasons are terribly animated.
Terrible. They're so cheap
I can maybe see the excitement, but for me, it's when it gets into the later stuff where the animation gets better for the show.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, what's the point?
Allegedly, they're going to include more stuff from the manga. It's going to be closer to the manga, is what I've read.
Okay, I mean, sure.
It's not to say I won't watch it. It's just it doesn't really interest me because I've already seen it twice.
For me, it's one of those things. For me, it's one of those things where I would see I would see it as a bad thing if it was all they were doing, but as they are also continuing.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that's the other bit of this. They're finally gonna do Morrow, the Planet Eater, and they're finally probably gonna do
the galactic galaxy people or whatever.
Yeah, that leads into Morrow, the Planet Eater, and then it eventually leads into Granola, and then that eventually leads into Black Frieza. And like, yeah, if we're gonna spend some time and do those sections individually and like really put the money into it, there's some cool shit in that in those arcs that I actually like Morrow. In my opinion, he's a little bit too much like Piccolo, but I like his design. I like the fact that he's a goat. I think cool.
I don't know anything about any of them.
He's exactly like Piccolo. He shows up and he's an old man, and then he either uses the Dragon Ball or sucks someone's energy, and he becomes young again. And he's got like 2
transformations. Oh, so he's like Slug.
Kind of, yeah. But he's a goat. That's his thing. He's not a Namekian. He's a goat guy. And that arc has where... And it's funny. It's a bit where you're like, oh, yeah, I can't believe no one ever thought of this before. But there's a bit where Vegeta... and it's the way I've read about it, it sounds lazy. But like he learns how to do the instant transmission. And then he just decides he doesn't want to use it. Because he's like, oh, there's a reason they give, and it's really lazy to explain why he's never used it.
Pretty classic Vegeta.
Yeah.
But
you get fully mastered Ultra Instinct. There's a lot of shit to be excited about in this, and I'm
that's
shocked.
where
shocked it's happening, because I thought for sure with the Kira Toriyama gone that was it for Dragon Ball. We were never going to see it come back, but I guess they were just like, we're going to make this look really pretty because we don't want to get embarrassed again.
And the other reason why the Beerus thing could be interesting, I doubt they will do this, but them redoing the beginning parts of Super could be interesting because they could use it as a way to integrate Daima.
Yeah.
So you could have it be they could have it be where when he tries to fight against Beerus, the final form he goes to is Super Saiyan 4, and it's not good enough to beat him either.
Yeah.
And
That would be the
they
way.
could use that to
That would be the
integrate
way.
it.
I mean, that could be why all the creators were like, no, it's canon, because they knew they were working something that would make it canon. But we'll see. We'll see. We will be watching that with great interest.
With
Speaking of
mild
watching-
interest.
Speaking of watching stuff with interest, the Masters of the Universe trailer came out.
So before we talk about the actual trailer, I want to. So, in the past week leading up to today, I didn't watch the trailer because I had a feeling you were going to send it to me, and so I was like, I'll watch it morning of. But I kept seeing this people complaining about this controversy, which made me laugh, where they were like, "Oh, He-Man has pronouns. He's he, him," and I'm like, he's He-Man. Like, what are you talking
I know,
about?
there's people who are like, "Oh, it's a wasted opportunity to have it not say he/man." I'm like, no, but that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. That's not the joke. Is that it says he, him. That's the joke. The joke is that it says he's he-man.
He's He-Man.
He-man. What is?
And so I didn't watch the trailer, but I saw that the entire weekend. It made me laugh.
So, like, okay, I'm not a Masters of the Universe fan. So, to my knowledge, now you've seen the movie, right?
I saw a movie. It was
the one with where Dolph Lundgren is the live action.
It was yeah, it was bad.
Right, but that one they go to the real world, right?
Yes, I believe so, if I remember correctly.
The
Eternia is supposed to be a different place than Earth.
No, yeah. But the original show has nothing to. It only ever takes place on Eternia, right? Like they don't go to Earth. There's no involvement.
I have no idea.
That's so like because I'm like the bit where he has to go to Earth and then Eternia comes to Earth and he has to go back to Eternia. That feels more like it's based off of that movie than it is the original show, right?
Hold on, let's try and find out. How often do they go?
Because I remember that bit being from that movie, of them going to Earth and the Masters of the Universe shit going to Earth. Like I don't remember that being from the actual show itself.
He-Man, how often do they go to Earth? He-Man, this is the AI overview, so take this with a grain of salt. It says He-Man does not have a set schedule for visiting Earth. Trips are rare, plot-driven, and often accidental, usually occurring only when necessitated by specific storylines.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that probably not.
Or the 2026 films focus on bridging the two worlds.
Yeah, like there's no like Prince Adam goes to Earth and then that's not a plot point in the show. Is the point?
Doesn't seem to be. I mean, it seems like he goes there occasionally, but
So I think that bit. I'm pretty sure that's from. I'm guessing it's in part.
I mean, I could say that I could.
Movie.
I was gonna say I could believe that it was inspired by it, or it's tributing it.
Honestly,
now
the
thing,
it looks fun.
The thing for me as I'm watching that movie is I'm like maybe I'm wrong, but I can kind of I can see the not schedule of it, but the order of it, where it's like he's the 75% of the movie he's going to be Adam, and then like in the final climax he'll get the sword and he'll become He-Man.
Oh, absolutely!
That's
turning into He-Man.
That's how that movie is going to be. Is going to work.
There's one bit where he turns into He-Man in the middle, and he's shocked by it, and then that bit you see in the trailer, that's definitely the ending of the movie.
That's the climax.
We exist in a world now where like that really obvious trope doesn't happen as often as it used to. Like now. Movies,
yeah, but this definitely feels like
this
one
feels
of
like that
those.
kind of movie. You're not wrong. But nowadays, we're at a point where He-Man shows up a bunch, but also like I don't think He-Man is in. He's kind of like Captain Planet, where he just kind of shows up at the end to save the day. So like I think that's just his bit. I don't think that's.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not enough of a big He-Man guy to really know.
There's still stuff in there like.
But there's definitely things I
think
recognize.
Skeletor looks great.
He looks great.
He looks great. He looks like Skeletor. He looks legitimately scary.
He looks way better than
him and He-Man in that trailer look great. Like it looks fun. Like it looks.
It looks fun.
Like and also the fact that Here's the question: do you think we're gonna see Jared Leto's face? Because Skeletor is played by Jared Leto. Do you think we will? Do you think there's gonna be a point where we see him as a regular human person, and he's Jared Leto?
No,
Do you?
I
Think
don't.
Do you think he's
I
gonna
think.
go,
I
"Till
think.
we
I
meet
think.
again"?
I think the only way we would is if we get a flashback where he was like, we find out that this version of him was like an advisor to the royal family, and we see him as like a person.
There was a version of the show, one of the newer remakes, that was it. He was like, I don't know if he was an advisor, if he was basically a Jafar, but he was a character. I think he was somebody's brother or something. But there's a bit where he gets splashed with acid and his face melts off, and
So, like,
he turns into Skeletor.
I could maybe see a scene like that, but I think like 80%, 90% of the movie, 95%.
Voice?
Yes,
Do you think he's gonna?
I think
do you
so.
think he's gonna do the voice until we meet again?
I think they might use a synthesized version.
Just remember, I'm Skeletor until we meet again.
I don't see it much like that. I see it more like they'll do like he's a darker one where he talks kind of like this.
Yeah, no, it looks fun. I mean, I don't know. I'll probably watch that on streaming. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I will watch it eventually.
I'll probably check it out eventually.
Jordan, Darth Maul.
Yeah, that show looks okay. So first, I will say it looks pretty.
I have.
It looks pretty.
Really pretty. It does look really
like
pretty.
it looks like it got a budget for sure.
Absolutely looks pretty. It does. It does look like some effort.
Like there's no disputing that for me. I'm interested in if this is like the later seasons of Clone Wars where the fights were like actually done with motion cap.
I don't know.
Because that will make it better for me.
I'm seeing some characters in there. I'm seeing a Jedi, and I'm seeing some characters that some female characters that give me concern that he's not in this a ton, and they're the main characters.
I could believe that.
I
could believe that this is a real Tron uprising situation where he's like a force that's there, like he's like the background guy, and we're actually following like two disciples or two people that he's trying to corrupt or whatever, and like we see him in like hologram like recordings
it
or
looks
like
the one like they're like just straight up good guy characters, and like the narrative focus
right,
is
but the idea is
them.
that he's trying to corrupt them is my point.
I don't get that at all. No, what I'm saying
I do.
I don't.
That's kind of his whole bit.
It gives me concern that he's not in that show as much as the trailers. Like he's not the main character. I'm getting the vibe that he's not the main character, and that is of a concern to me. I'm just concerned this isn't gonna be as cool as this trailer makes it look.
Only time will tell. Only time will tell.
Otherwise, it'll look cool though.
Unless you can secretly predict the future, and you've been holding out on me on the whole winning the lottery thing.
No.
Can you see the future?
No. Jordan.
Dang it!
I
was really hoping you were secretly holding out on me.
Amazon revealed the trailer for Invincible Season 4. And
yeah, I'm now, after watching it, I'm like, did I finish Season 3? Like, I legitimately, I found myself questioning that, because I'm like, I don't remember what happened at the end of Season 3.
At the end of Season 3, after all of the evil...
There was like the War of the Marks.
All the evil Invincibles showed up and killed everybody. And then after they stopped all the evil Invincibles, Conquest showed up. And him and Conquest did a big fight across the city. And
right, I remember that.
This seems to be the fallout of that. And the emotional fallout of him getting his ass absolutely beat.
Okay.
But it definitely does that thing of like, Thrag shows up at the end of the trailer, and he does one of those, hey, you know who I am? And
who's Thrag?
Exactly, he's the guy who showed up at the end. Who's he's the king. He's the one. He's at the end of the trailer. I don't know how else to describe him, but he's got the red outfit on. And
the guy who's wearing Omni-Man's outfit.
Kinda, yeah. He's the king of the Viltrumites. He's like the big bad. Yeah, he's a big deal, and if you are familiar with the comics, you pretty well instantly know who he is. He's one of those characters.
Look, I mean, what can I say? I'm not going to say that I'm not somewhat excited because I like Invincible.
I
So
like
obviously,
Invincible. It looks fun.
you know, it looks like fun, but it's also taking too long to come out. I forgot about it.
But it
It
doesn't.
it is
It's
it is
the
it has left my mind since the last
the
season.
last season. I mean, this is coming out in March, and the last season came out in March. It's only been a year.
Yeah, but it's been a year.
Yeah, but I mean that's pretty. I mean it's better than its previous hiatus of 3 years. So like
Yeah, I guess. I
streaming
don't
shows
know.
come out a year at a time. So it's honestly not that bad of a release window. Do I wish it were better? Yeah, but it. Yeah, I
I
mean,
feel like they could get it done in half a year.
I just then that's just not how animation works. But um,
I feel like they're just not trying hard
I
enough.
mean that is true. They could absolutely just do crunch. Did I see
South
you?
Park, South Park can get it done in a week.
Yeah, but that show looks like shit. During the trailer for the Muppets, there's a new trailer that they
Yeah,
put out.
I had already seen that,
I'm,
and
I'm kind of
I had
settled into
already
it.
I had already formulated opinions. I don't like the voice.
Yeah, but I'm just, I don't love it, but I'm dealing with it, and like I think maybe it's because it's him in Kermit. It's Kermit in like the space where he started. Then the writing is much sharper. He's written to feel more. I settled into it a bit more than I was expecting. Like, I obviously don't love it, but I could deal with it.
It's one of those. It's one of those where like every other voice is right. I would put up with it.
Yeah.
I would deal with it,
I settled into it way
but
more than I was expecting it. I mean,
it still distracts me.
I'm gonna express my continued dislike of it, but especially because I've seen interviews of him being asked about it and him effectively giving the attitude that he doesn't care, and that bothers me. And yeah, like a lot of the writing is sharp.
I mean,
my hope
no.
is that
So
they go like
it doesn't.
experimental, like that's they're not gonna, but like I'd love for it to really invest in the truest spirit of the Muppet Show and get weird and experimental, but it's not gonna.
It doesn't surprise me that he doesn't care. That's not where my issue lies. My issue lies with the people above him who aren't being like, dude, be Kermit.
Be Kermit better. Do the voice better.
That's where my issue comes from. Because of course, the person who's portraying it the way that he's portraying it isn't going to care what people think.
Yeah.
That's why he's portraying it that way. It's the people, his bosses should be telling him to do his job properly.
Like my thing was if he was a bit more like, hey, if he was a bit more
You know, it's the equivalent of like the lazy employee who has found the shortcut to do something. You don't get mad at them because they're doing the thing the way that people like that he's found out how to do it. You get mad at the person above him who's not making sure he's doing it correctly.
Yeah, but the attitude, he still gets mad at the shit employee. But the attitude that he gave off in the interview I saw was like he had heard the feedback and just didn't want to take it or change it or improve it. Like, it was his attitude towards legacy characters generally, because they were asked, he was asked, how do you approach taking on this legacy character? Do you look at the previous performers to see what they did and try to, and he was like, no. And I was like, well, then what? Then you shouldn't be taking on legacy characters then. Like, again, Bill Beretta.
No, that bothers me.
Bill Beretta is the gold standard for taking on legacy characters, where if you don't, or Eric Jacobson, whereas like if you don't even, and the thing was like his Jerry Nelson characters are fine, like, and that's because he actually sat there and he watched Jerry Nelson perform the characters, so he learned how to perform the character. And to be fair, his inability to perform the character, apparently Steve Whitmire refused to have understudies or teach anyone or pass on the character. And so the old OG guys did. Like, there was that transition period where they were like half in, half out. So the new guys got the chance to sit there and watch them. Like, the one guy was like, yeah, I right-handed for Frank forever. So like that allows you to see in person the performance being done, allows you to replicate it. Whereas he's not even trying to replicate it, and that's what bothers me.
I agree.
But there's a really funny joke where Sabrina Carpenter is like,
the kink joke.
Yeah, you gotta get the kinks out of it. It's like, I like kinks. And I'm like, okay. That's Muppets.
Yeah.
Like that's
You're allowing them to be a little edgier.
Yeah, the Muppets are a little edgy. Like I said, go watch season 1 of The Muppet Show. And it's not Kermit and them. It's unique creative
That's where
It's
you can feel in that joke you can feel Seth Rogen's influence, where
Sure.
he's not afraid to be a little
But
edgy.
like I say, the first season of the Muppet Show is so experimental. It's so thought provoking. It's so different. There's so many performances where like they just let random people do random art pieces on their show. Like it wasn't just the puppets. Like it was so much more than that. And I just don't think. I think this is gonna be the Disney Presents the Muppet Show version of the Muppet
Oh
Show.
yeah, definitely it is.
Like, and it's just not gonna be the same.
No. If you're expecting it to be the same, it can never be the same. It doesn't have Jim Henson
Or Frank Oz or any of
or
those
Frank
guys.
Oz or any of those guys,
It
but in
doesn't have-
particular Jim Henson.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still gonna watch it. I will support the Muppets and pretty well anything, but yeah, I don't know. And then finally, Jordan, I meant to send this to you. I don't know if
I
did.
just want I want there to be at least, and I can't decide if this would make it better or worse, but I want there to be like at least one joke about the fact that he doesn't quite sound
they're
right,
never gonna do that.
where they make a joke about how he sounds like he has a frog in his voice
Never gonna do that.
or in his throat.
They will never address the fact that he doesn't sound right. They're never gonna do that. Jordan, did I send you the first look at Lobo?
Yeah.
Boy, does he
I
look
mean,
like Lobo.
he looks like Lobo. He
Boy,
was
does
like
he sure as shit look like Lobo.
he was born to play that role.
Yeah, he was
so
pretty well born to play. I hear he's not in it a ton, which is concerning to me, because he's the only reason I'm interested in that movie, which is probably bad because it's a Supergirl movie. Supergirl should probably be the reason you're into a Supergirl movie, but yeah, I'm he sure looks like Lobo. That's all
he
I'll
looks
say.
like Lobo.
Sure looks like Lobo. Today's show, Jordan. Today's show is brought to you by, once again, Wild Education. Go support them. They're in our description. They live in our description now. We want to support them constantly and always. Think of the animals. They still need help.
Think of the fucking animals.
But also, today's show is brought to you by Wizard.ai. Jordan, do you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah. I mean,
Jordan,
there's this one.
If you had a YouTube channel, you would know that a key part of making YouTube content is short form content, Jordan. And with Wizard.ai's proprietary AI technology, it will go through the video that you submit to Wizard.ai and it will find the optimal clips to post online. It will rate them based on their virality and it will edit and format them for you. And then it will give you all kinds of tools to futz and change the formatting as much as you want. And if you click the link in our description below, we get a little piece of the pie, and it helps out the show, and it helps you make content endlessly and quick. Man, let me tell you, since I've started using Wizard.ai, I've been able to exponentially increase my output on YouTube Shorts. So click the link in the top link in the description, Wizard.ai, and let them know that we sent you by signing up today.
Help us, help you, help yourself, help you, help us, help everyone.
Exactly. On today's show, I needed something easy because I'm working on next week's episode, and that's requiring a little bit of time. So I need a nice, easy week of short movies and a nice, short-ish episode. So today, Jordan, you saw the title. We're talking cute animals. Cute animal movies, cute animal things that involve animals that are cute.
I mean, that feels offensive towards animals that are less cute.
That is true. But Jordan,
you weren't nearly inclusive enough, Justin. What about
animals.
Crocodiles?
They are also cute.
Today, you saw the title.
I mean, I agree. I think they are. Anyways, so
And snakes.
so I guess we should just jump right into this then.
Jump right into it, Jordan. Balls first.
And so we're gonna do
Testicles first, Jordan.
my first rapid fire. We're gonna do my first rapid fire, which is The Secret Life of Pets.
Oh yeah. That is.
Do you know The Secret Life of Pets?
I do. I've seen this movie. It's a good movie.
It is a fun, cute little movie where there's some pets and we see their secret life. The
It's
secret
Toy
life that
Story,
goes
but
on.
with pets.
We see the secret life that goes on with pets.
Jordan, it's Toy Story,
Well,
but
you know,
with pets.
Yeah, I can see that comparison.
He's Woody. The dog that comes in is Buzz. It's Toy Story, but with pets. Did you not think of that until I just said it?
No, I legitimately didn't. But so yeah,
Did I just blow your mind a little bit,
you
Jordan?
little bit, yeah. You've summarized it fairly nice. We have our little dog who is Woody. We have the big dog who is Buzz. And then he's got but Woody has all his friends. I mean, the one big difference though is that all the pets don't like immediately fall in love with Buzz
Oh,
in
this is
this
true.
instance.
That is the difference. They pretty well stay on Woody's side in this version of the
They're
story.
they're on Woody's side. And then yeah, you have the big dog who is Buzz, and him and little dog are having conflict. And then they end up having to make their way back home and stuff,
You
and
know,
it's cute.
like Toy Story.
It's cute.
Kevin Hart is there as a psychotic rabbit.
Yep. And apparently it
Just
was
wants to be loved.
popular enough that there's a sequel.
Oh yeah, and this was quite popular. And then the sequel wasn't. And I think isn't Louis C.K. the main dog? Pretty sure.
I think you're right.
Because they recast
But
him. They recast him in the second
I
one
want
because
to
he got
confirm.
canceled, which is funny.
Yes, Louis C.K. is Max,
Yeah.
the Jack Russell Terrier.
Yeah, they recast him with Patton Oswalt in the second one because he got
Eric
canceled.
Stone Street is Duke.
Yes,
Kevin
he is-
Hart, Jenny Slate,
He is
and a bunch of other names.
Eric Stone Street, I believe, was from Modern Family.
Tara Strong is a parakeet.
Well, all right then. I did not know she was. in this.
No, neither did I. Other than that, none of the names really stand out to me. Yeah, no, I like this movie. It's cute, it's fun, it has animals, so it checked all the boxes that we were looking for
It-
this week.
As far as Illumination movies are concerned, it's
It's one of the better
one of the
ones.
better ones. The thing about Illumination movies is they're like not really all that memorable. Like they just
Not
kind of exist.
really. Unless there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
That's the reason why certain ones become memorable. Like Despicable Me, if it had just been the one, probably wouldn't have been that memorable. But there's like what, 7 of them now?
I think the thing about Despicable Me that's more long lasting is the Minions probably is what makes those movies stick out. I don't think it's Gru or
No.
the kids.
I mean, there's a reason why the Minions have become like the mascots of Illumination.
I mean, yeah, and they become memes on the internet
Ba-ba-ba-boo.
for random
Ba-ba-boo.
memes. Join us that is.
Banana?
Banana.
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 Yeah, no, that's this one's fun. It's fun, it's easy, it's simple. It's The Secret Life of Pets.
Maybe it's Maybelline?
Maybe it's Maybelline?
Maybe it's Maybelline?
I don't think those words that you said make sense. So
Maybe
let's
it's
move on.
Maybelline. It's a slogan
Let's move on to your
for
first
something-
one.
Something called Maybelline. I don't know what Maybelline is. All I know that's maybe it's Maybelline. Jordan, I don't know if you remember, Jordan, back in the day, Disney used to make 2D movies. Jordan,
What? No. What?
And-
You speak madness.
there was a period of time where they stopped making 2D animated movies. They started.
Yeah,
making,
it's still now. We're in that period.
They started making. No, they tried to make Princess and the Frog. That was the one exception. But
Yeah, that was in like 2009.
they stopped making
Hold
2D
on.
animated movies.
I've said that, and I'm not confident about that.
They've stopped making 2D animated movies after this one, Jordan. This is Home on the Range, and Home on the Range is right at the end of the Disney Renaissance. Jordan is the final movie of the Disney Renaissance.
I was right. Princess and the Frog was 2009. So yeah, it's been like
It stars
years.
It stars Roseanne Barr as a cow who thinks that this is going to be a franchise. She's giving a performance. She's saying catchphrases. She's being clever, and she definitely thinks that there's going to be more than one movie. And
I mean, Justin, you're being offensive. I don't think you're allowed to call actresses
no,
cows.
she's playing a cow.
I mean that's rude. Women are more than just, you can't just call a woman a cow.
Bovine animal, the cow.
I mean, you can try and reframe it as a bovine. I mean, it's still just
the bit is dead. The bit is dead. The bit is dead.
Oh. Are you sure?
Yeah, no, it's dead.
Because I feel like we could have let it go on a little bit longer.
For a little while longer.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
See what I did there?
Full circle. Bovine.
So, okay, the big thing about this is, number one, it looks like shit. It looks cheap as shit. It is cheap as shit. It did not get a dime, and it bombed horribly, which is why they never made another 2D movie. The plot of this is Roseanne Barr, I don't remember her character's name, is from a herd of cows.
We're just gonna call her Marge.
Who all get kidnapped, and so she gets sold to a farm called Heavenly Place or whatever, and she comes into conflict where there's a couple of cows. One of them likes to sing but is tone deaf, and the other one wears a hat and is British and is played by, I think it's Helen Mirren. And they their farm is about to go under, and they
go under what?
Like poor, like they're gonna gonna be sold. And in order to make money, the 3 cows set out to capture an infamous horse wrestler played by Randy Quaid. And in the one bit of the movie that I thought was clever, his whole bit is he's a Pied Piper for cows, basically, where he yodels and then all the cows become hypnotized and follow him. Oh yeah, this is a musical, by the way. It's a Disney movie, of course. Renaissance movie. So it's a musical. But it's country music this time because it's a movie about cows. So all the songs are country music. And
I mean, that's the real reason that it failed.
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, there's the one cow, she's tone deaf, so she can't hear the yodeling, but the other cows do. And yeah, it's once again, there's a big conflict. They don't get along, but the movie's too short and it doesn't spend any time developing. It's only an hour 25, so it needed to be 15 minutes, but they don't really spend any time developing the other cow characters. Like, there's a big long introduction. The narrator of the movie is Roseanne. So there's a big long. Are you paying attention?
Roseanne.
There's a bunch of.
My eyes just immediately glazed over. This movie sounds boring.
It's a late era Disney Renaissance movie. It doesn't look very good. It's very cheap. Some of it's kind of funny. It's short. It's not very memorable. To judge by, it's not bad enough to be memorable for being bad. It's not good enough to be memorable for being good. But it very definitely thought it was going to be a franchise. That's it. That's all I got. That's Home on the Range. The movie's so bad it killed 2D animation.
So what you're saying, Justin, if I can summarize your thoughts that you're definitely thinking in your head right now, is Disney, instead of doing Disney remakes of movies that were commercially successful, you should do ones like this and do it live action, photorealistic.
Yes, they should. Also, this movie. Oh yeah, that was a big thing for me. Like I've discovered as we do the show is like asking the question, hey, did this need to be animated? Like, could they have done this as live action and saved the money? And like, yeah, it did. Definitely, anthropomorphic cows couldn't do that in live action easily. They were doing a lot of anthropomorphic stuff. Oh yeah, there's a horse that's afraid of cows. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. Is there's a
really the cows should be afraid of the horse. Horses like kicking.
But cows can also be mean. They're big and they also like kicking and charging, and they are heavy and massive. There's a solid twist involving there's a bounty hunter who it turns out he's evil in the end. Just trying to think if there was anything.
Most bounty hunters are.
Yeah, but you think he's a good guy the whole movie? And then, spoiler alert, turns out he's not. Turns out he's actually evil. That's it. That's Home on the Range. Home on the Range.
Well, alrighty then.
Home on the Range.
Who does he play? Sorry. I didn't realize that a certain person was in this next movie, and I'm like, who did he play? And now I'm gonna have to go and look because that's gonna drive me crazy. But have you ever thought to yourself, man, it's 2006, and what I really want to watch is a movie about a penguin who dances instead of sings, when all of his community are singers, he dances.
Is
Have you
that
have you ever thought it's 2006?
is
Have you ever thought that to yourself?
I mean, is the movie also creepy, realistic, and kind of uncanny valley?
One could make the argument, yes.
Yeah, I had thought that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You so what
Are
you
several of the
into
characters played by Robin Williams?
at least one of them is.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely.
I think at least two of them are.
At least two. I'm pretty sure two. It
I'm
might be
pretty
three.
sure at least two.
I'm pretty positive it's two. It might be three.
I'm just trying. The way that this has it listed is not very good. Oh, he's Hugh Jackman. Interesting. I didn't realize that.
Jack.
Sorry, the dad of Elijah Wood's, the main Penguins, his dad is played by Hugh Jackman. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, this movie. I remember this movie being weird. It's like it's half live action, half animated. Like all the animals are animated, but there's live action human parts.
There is,
And it's like
yeah,
it's framed as though it's a. The joke is that it's a I forget the guy's name, but it's a nature documentary. Is the whole idea.
Oh, I don't get that at all.
That's why they show up on the boat with the cameras to film the penguins and take them back to the.
Well, well, I mean, the way that it plays out basically is
Warzog? I forget the guy's name.
what?
Oh, it's a particular kind guy. He's got a particular voice. Making fun of him in Penguins of Madagascar.
Mumble is the way that it plays out is Mumble he dances instead of sings, but his whole tribe and people, the emperor penguins, they find their true love by singing their heart song, and he can't sing. He's a terrible singer. So then he's running into problems, and then he ends up leaving, and he runs into the Adele penguins, which are a different kind of penguins, which in this are portrayed as more like Latin people.
Yes.
And so he goes there, becomes friends with them, ends up running into Lovelace, which is played by Robin Williams, but Ramon is also played by Robin Williams. And then Elijah Wood's character is like, we have to figure out where all the fish are going. And then he finds out about the aliens, and the aliens are humans, of course. And then he goes to find the aliens, and then he ends up in a zoo, and then he starts dancing at the zoo, and then that gets attention. And then they stick a radio transmitter on him, and he goes back to the tribe, and then he starts dancing there, and people are starting to accept his dancing, and then the humans show up, and then there's this whole sequence where he's like, and then things changed, and like the humans are talking, and they're like, well, I don't want to see a world without penguins. Well, why don't we just ban fishing in the area? Oh, we're gonna do that, and then things end up, and it's a happy ending, and then there's a second one.
All right.
And I'm not gonna lie, this was one of those ones where when it originally came out, it wasn't on my radar, and I don't remember watching it in 2006. And I don't remember why, but randomly I went and I saw the second one on my own in I think it was in IMAX or something.
Yes,
and I don't know why I would have, but I like this movie, and I like the second one. So
it's never done anything for me, mostly because I think the animation is really stiff and just not very interesting looking. But it's harmless.
It's got some well-known names in there: Elijah Wood, Robin Williams, Hugh Jackman, Nicole Kidman.
It's directed by George Romero, which is shocking.
George Miller is who it's produced by.
George Miller. It's the guy who directed the Mad Max Fury Road.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's a weird thing.
Yeah, it's like
but
a passion
okay.
project of his. He absolutely loves these movies. At one point, they were going to make a third one. He really wanted to make a third one.
That would have been interesting.
But
no, yeah, that's
passionate about Happy Feet.
That's Happy Feet. You've got happy, cute little animals. It's fun, and
they have happy feet.
The one has happy feet.
I mean, arguably, they all have happy feet.
By the end of it, they have happy feet. But in the beginning, only the one has happy feet.
Jordan, let me tell you about this movie. This movie about an animal who races. Jordan, you paying attention? Wait.
Sorry, hold on. I have the wrong Ice Age page open. I have to get the right one.
Have I got you locked in on this next movie, Jordan?
Sorry. Just pretend that I wasn't listening at all and go back to the beginning.
Jordan, this movie is about an animal that races, that doesn't normally race. Jordan, this is called Racing Stripes.
Oh, I thought we were going in a completely different direction. I thought you were going to say this was Turbo.
No.
Because that snail is fast.
The snail is fast. But Jordan, in this context, it's a zebra. That's fast. That zebra is fast. Jordan,
a zebra?
This is a movie. It's actually pronounced zebra.
A zebra?
The African way is to pronounce it zebra. Jordan. This movie stars Frankie Muniz as Stripes, a zebra who falls off the back of a circus truck when he's a little baby zebra.
You mean a zebra?
A zebra. And he is found by what's her name? Not Haley Joel Osment. Hayden Panettiere and her dad, and they take him in and raise him from a baby and bottle feed him. And then he gets older, and he's played by Frankie Muniz. And he wants to race. And next door to him is a bunch of horses who are assholes, who are race horses. And they're like, you're never going to race because you're no good. You're tiny. And
sorry. Did you say, is this animated or live action?
This is live action.
Or mix? Live action. Okay.
Live action, but it's got the talking animals.
Right. No, but I just meant for the human characters.
And the animals all have horrible CGI mouths because there's no budget put to this. And
we're going to talk about that.
They the family that the zebra, they used to race horses, but the mom, the guy's wife, died because the horse tripped and she got trampled, and so now he doesn't want them to race.
Now wait, was it a horse or was it a zebra?
It was a horse.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the dad doesn't want to horse race anymore. And one of the characters in the movie is, there's a goat who's very nice, played by Whoopi Goldberg, who just intuitively understands everyone's emotional needs. And then there's a tiny little mini horse, played by Dustin Hoffman, who is basically you remember Doc Hudson from Cars? He's like a little coach, and he trains all the horses to be winners or whatever. And so so the zebra wants to race, and so he basically convinces, with the help of all the various animals, they convince they get the girl to ride the zebra to school, which makes her want to race. And so they use their animal wiles to convince the dad to let her race. And the number one thing is this movie kind of completely misunderstands zebras, kind of. Because number one, zebras aren't strong like horses. There's a reason why people don't ride zebras. Zebras, A, have a horrible temperament and are awful. And B, don't have the same level of back strength that a horse does. So they can't pull. They also don't have the same level of stamina or energy that a horse does. They're just generally weaker, which is why in Africa they didn't become domesticated. Fun fact about zebras.
Plus, they're mean.
They're mean. They're really mean. They're really mean animals.
They're kind of like donkeys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, so you know they're mean. That zebras are mean.
But that's something that I know, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. Oh, yeah. And so the way that the movie does, like, part of it, the thing is, like, he's like, oh, you get tired more easy than the horses. That is a sort of a part of the plot, and like, she's small enough that I suppose it's believable that the zebra could carry her. But one of the things that's impressive is there's a lot of moments where it's like, it involves a real zebra. That's a real zebra. It's not a CGI zebra. There's a lot of points where she's actually riding a zebra. She's riding that zebra. Apparently the zebra...
So now, Justin, I guess the question that needs to be asked in this moment, here and now, is, are they white with black stripes, or are they black with white stripes?
They literally do that joke. He's like, you're a white horse with black stripes. He goes, no, he's a black horse with white stripes. They literally do. Oh, yeah, and there's these two fly characters, these CGI fly characters, and they're annoying. They're played by David Spade and Bernie Mac. They're annoying. and they just sing random songs and are CGI and do a bunch of poop puns. That's the only thing they do. They're not exceptionally funny characters. They're kind of annoying. They distract away from the plot, and they look bad. The CGI looks bad. And yeah, it's one of those, like, you have to suspend your disbelief because there's no way a zebra would be. It's sort of like, it reminded me a lot of Herbie, where it's like, there's no way a bug could keep up with a race car. There's no way a zebra could keep up with a racehorse. Just physically, it's impossible. They don't.
Oh, I mean, they could if
they
they
absolutely could not.
But maybe if they,
not even a little bit. No.
But what about if?
And it's an annoying kind of talking animal movie.
But maybe with Pudding, they could.
Perhaps with Pudding. It's an annoying kind. I've discovered there's a particular kind of talking animal movie that's annoying, where the animals are anthropomorphic enough to talk and have human emotions and human actualization, but still for some reason act like an animal, or like so it'll like the narrative flips between being from the girl's perspective and Stripe's perspective. So when it's the animals all talk and make plans, and like they do secret horse races at night and like all sorts of stuff, but he still displays, like, he spooks easy. There's an entire running plot line where he gets scared of the gate, and like there's moments where he's just acting like a regular animal, but you're like, but he's too smart for this. Like, he knows that inherently that the gate is not harmful because he's a talking animal who has human qualities. So like,
now my pushback on that would be, there are plenty of humans who know that there's nothing scary in the dark, but they're still scared of the dark.
Yeah, but he knows the mechanics of how horse racing works, and he's seen it. So he has, as a zebra with human intellect, he's intellectually too smart to be scared of the thing. Like, if he, as a regular zebra, yes, like there's moments where he's acting like a regular zebra. They're like, yeah, that's how a zebra would behave. But like, as an anthropomorphic creature, it doesn't make sense. Like, and there's just certain, like, I don't mind a talking animal movie where like the talking animals are talking animals, but they still exhibit a lack of knowledge, or their perception of the world is that of an animal. Like, I don't mind that. But like, this is like, oh, he wants to act human but still act like a zebra, and it's confusing. But it is otherwise a pretty schmaltzy, by the numbers sports movie. The good guys win, the bad guys lose. Everyone cheers at the end. It gets a little emotional. It's cute and it's fun. That's Racing Stripes.
Now,
Racing Stripes, Jordan.
I understand.
I knew you would.
But
that's why I said it.
Picture in your mind, if you will, Justin.
I'm picturing it.
You have time traveled back in time. You are 12 again. It's 2002.
Okay.
And you're watching a trailer for a movie which is about a mammoth, a sloth, and a saber-toothed tiger. And, it's Ice Age.
Honestly, the first trailer for this movie did not involve those characters. It involved Scrat. This is one.
All right. Well, Scrat takes up more of the movie than you would expect.
Too much. Too much of the movie. Entirely too much of the movie. I hate that character. I hate that character is the character that holds that franchise back for me liking that franchise. He's in it entirely too much, and his bits are not funny.
He's one of those characters where it's like, I don't. Did you not have it?
I do get it.
Did you not have enough? Did you not have enough movie that you could have like only had him be in the beginning? Why did he have to come back for the end?
And it's not even like when you're like, did they not have enough movie? The movie's already short. I think it's only like an hour 25. It's
like an hour. It's not even that. If you take away the Scrat bits, it would be like an hour.
Right? It's not very long. And like, no, I get it. I get it. Like for little kids like that, he's a Looney Tunes character. Like,
yeah, he is.
He's a character where he's silly. Like, I get the appeal for 2-year-olds.
I remember liking him as a kid.
No, I never liked him.
As a kid, no. I did, because he reminded me of Looney Tunes.
Yeah, absolutely never liked that character. I remember I've hated every single one of the trailers for that movie because I hate that character. Even when I was a kid, I remember the first time I watched it at Richmond Center. I remember watching that movie, and I remember I've never, ever liked that character. That having been said, there's a rumor that the new one, because they're making a new Ice Age movie. There's a
Oh,
rumor,
are they?
Yeah, yeah. There's a rumor that the kid's gonna come back. That's gonna be about them reunited with the kid.
That'd be cool.
That would
Because
that I would be absolutely interested in, because that they've never gone back to that. They've never gone back to the humans. These movies have gotten so ridiculous and over the top. Like, and for some reason still try to insist that like they're real. Like, oh no, the Ice Age is whatever. These animals are gonna become extinct. You know. But they went so off the rails, like where it was like, okay, no, we want them to encounter dinosaurs. So there's a movie where they encounter dinosaurs, even though they've never existed at the same time.
Don't remember that one. I remember that one, but I don't think I've ever watched that one.
I can't imagine you would have. I pretty much stopped watching this after the third one.
I really only remembered like the first three. I think the third one he gets the wife and daughter.
Yes, I remember the second one's where he meets the wife, and then the third one is about the kid being born. And then well, I mean, to be fair, I think I watched a few of them for the show, but I remember the pirate one.
Which,
I think after the pirate one.
Which, after rewatching the first one, I have to say, good for Manny. He lost his wife. I'm happy for him that he found someone.
I will say that franchise, in terms of character growth, they all go in the direction you're kind of like, that works. Yeah, one of the ones is I think it's one of the ones I watched was she's an adult now, and she meets her whatever, and Manny hates him, and it's I enjoy that.
Here's what I'll say about with looking back at it with a retrospect, about the Ice Age franchise. Oh, that was weird. They really wanted a Shrek.
Oh, for sure they wanted a Shrek. To be fair, this franchise is the reason Blue Sky Studios stuck around as long as it did. It's the only movie they're known for. Like, does anyone really remember the Rio movies? No, they made 2 of those. Like, there's been like
vaguely.
The entire studio rested off the back of these movies for literal years.
Yeah, what else did they even do?
They did this. They did Rio. I did them for the show. I did Blue Sky Studios for the show. They did
Robots. Dr. Zeus's Horton Hears a Who.
They did. Oh yeah, that's the one.
Rio, Epic. They did Epic.
Right.
They did the Peanuts movie.
Yes, they
did. I like the Peanuts movie.
Peanuts movie was good. Not all their movies are bad. Peanuts movie was quite good. Yeah, I did them for
Ferdinand and then Spies in Disguise.
Ferdinand. Yeah, that's why I watched Ferdinand. Ferdinand's quite good. I did when we did animation you've never heard of. I think you did Leica, and I did Blue Sky Studios, and then I think Jake was supposed to do blue what's his face, Don Bluth, but he couldn't make it.
So I mean, yeah, what is there to say about this one? I didn't realize that it had Jack Black in it.
It does? Who's he?
There's
one of the Tigers.
No, or yes, I guess. Sorry, I guess. I always thought that Diego was a saber-toothed tiger, but it lists him as a Smilodon. Smilodon.
Pretty sure that must be a fancy word for saber-tooth.
It's one of the best known saber-toothed predators.
Oh.
So I guess it's a specific.
It's a specific breed
or name, and so he's Zeke. Jack Black is Zeke.
That makes sense. Yeah,
he's one of the Smilodons.
Yeah, there's a point where they run into a group of them or whatever. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Which I didn't realize that.
Now that I'm thinking about it, he must be like the big. There's a big fat one. I think he must be that one.
Oh, that would make sense.
Anyway.
But no, yeah. What is there to say about Ice Age?
It's so weird
fun.
to say, like, it's like, I don't want to be like, oh, it's an iconic franchise, but they're making a 7th one. So, like, my best,
it is
iconic. Must be cheap to produce. They must be. Especially bad. Well, I mean, okay, here, let's put it this way. I can tell you what the budget I don't usually do this for rapid fires, but this one had a budget of between 59 to 65 million. And its box office was 383 million. Is that it?
So, relatively, when it comes to these sorts of things, that's actually fairly expensive for 2002.
Pretty expensive, yeah. Is that it?
Yeah, no, that's it for Ice Age.
So this next one, The thing about the internet, Jordan, is a lot of times I watch movies because I saw them on TikTok. And this is an example of I watched this movie because I saw it on TikTok. And because it looked funny. It looked genuinely funny. This is called Back to the Outback. And this is on Netflix. I don't know if this is a Netflix original, but it takes place in a zoo. And it's basically a movie about all of the animals that are scary and ugly and upsetting. Like the poisonous spiders, the poisonous
like a lion?
lizards. Well, more smaller, creepy crawly. So the main character of this movie is a poisonous spider, who they say is so poisonous it could kill 100 men in a minute. And the one of the characters is basically a Steve Irwin type character. He's an Australian kind of like wildlife guy. He's got a mustache and he's got a son, and he's basically Steve Irwin. And he brings her out of the cage or whatever to do a show where he's like, they're so scary. You wouldn't want him to touch you because they're so ugly and scary and they'll bite you. And there's a scorpion.
That doesn't sound like Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin would have been like, look at these beauties.
Well, okay, so there's the spider, there's a scorpion, there's a lizard, and then there's a crocodile initially. And her whole
and then
thing
if it
is
was,
like,
and then if it was really a kids movie humor, like funny moment, it would have. Hold on. Let me. Then it would have been look at this beauty, and it would have like zoomed in on the spider, and the spider would have been, watch me bite this guy.
No, because it's not that kind of. The movie is about not judging a book by its cover. So the crocodile, there's a crocodile, and she's a really nice and sweet. And she's like, well, if everyone thinks it's scary anyway, you might as well have some fun with it. And so while there's a montage at the beginning of, the guy being like, she's ugly and scary and whatever, and then walking around. And then the guy's son accidentally falls into the crocodile enclosure. And the crocodile is actually really nice and is like, whoa, no, hold on, let me help you. I'm gonna help you out here, bud. Like, we don't want anything to go wrong.
And they think that she's trying to eat him.
Pretty much, yeah. And so they take her away, and this causes all of the creatures to decide to escape and go back to the outback, because she was taken from the outback, and she has this memory of her family from the outback or whatever. And while they're trying to escape, there's this koala who's basically a narcissist, who is like super cute and super adorable, and everyone loves him. And he's got this camera on him that's watching him for 24 hours a day, and like everyone loves him, everyone thinks he's cute. And they kidnap him while they're trying to escape, and so that makes everyone think that basically, in order to like explain what's happened, they say that he's got rabies and that he's died, and so they replace him with some other cute animal or whatever. And throughout the movie, he's really narcissistic and like insulting all the creatures or whatever. And the movie is about him learning that it's about what's on the inside that matters and whatever and all that sort of jazz. And throughout the movie, the mustache Steve Irwin character is chasing after them and trying to get them, and they keep getting away from him. And the son is like, Dad, this is just like the time you leapt from this car and jumped to another car, and then this really sick thing and really awesome thing, and you're so cool, Dad. And as the movie comes on, it becomes kind of obvious that he's full of shit, that he's that kind of character, that he's clearly lying. And so then it gets to the point where he's like, Dad, you gotta do this, you gotta do whatever. And he's like, I'm gonna be honest with you, son. I'm not actually Australian. He's like, I'm from Florida, and this is my real name. And this persona is fake. I was kind of a loser back home, and everyone treated me like shit. So I saw this show of this guy wrestling a crocodile, and I went, well, I can do that. And the guy he's watching is Steve Irwin.
That's awesome.
Because the whole movie, I'm like, you're right. You're like, this is very explicitly violates Steve Irwin's message. Steve Irwin was like, they're all cute. Like, it doesn't matter whether or not they're ugly.
Gorgeous. Yeah, right? Look at the gorgeous
doesn't matter
things on this spider.
Doesn't matter if they're dangerous or whatever. Like, Steve Irwin loved every animal, no matter what. It's why it bothers me when people are like, you got to take revenge on the stingrays, because that's not what Steve Irwin would want.
No, he would never want that.
Steve Irwin would be like, it's my fault. Like he would just leave,
I
like,
got in its space, and I pissed it off. It's
yeah.
my fault.
Yeah, pretty much. He would have been like that. And yeah, it's really cute, and the animation is really fun, and it's really touching. About there's a bit towards the end where the son realizes that the spider's not actually mean, and everyone becomes friends at the end. And there's a bit where they finally get to the outback, and they run into a tree full of koalas, and the koala is initially like, oh, they're all so hot, I want to go join them. So he goes to run off, and he leaves them, and the gang end up getting taken by the mustached Steve Irwin guy, and he comes back to rescue her, and he's like, yeah. It cuts to him in the tree, and they're all like Valley Girl talking about how, do you think this girl's ugly? Yeah, I think she's ugly. They're really vapid, and he's like, do you think I'm shallow? And she's like, yeah, a little bit, yeah. And it's really funny. He's played by Tim Minchin. He's a really funny character. Again, it's really cute. It's really funny, and I just like I really enjoyed the subversion of the Steve Irwin guy being the bad guy. I thought that was clever, and that was fun, and it's cute, and it's on Netflix, and it's totally worth checking out. It's really fun. It's called it's Back to the Outback. Cute and fun and cute.
Okay, so when it comes to the animal movie, Justin, they're not all good, and I think that we need to acknowledge that. And sometimes they learned the wrong lessons from previous movies that came before them. So in 2004 or whatever it was, Garfield came out. That's not what I picked, but this movie learned all the wrong lessons from that movie. This is Marmaduke.
I remember thinking this movie was funny.
It yeah, I don't know how to even articulate. Are you okay?
Yeah.
I don't even know how to really articulate it. It's just, it's really 2010s. So it's just, it very much follows an outline. I don't want to say
it's a
that it's
2010s movie about a big dog who does the dog talk?
Yeah.
Oh, the dog talks.
It's Owen Wilson.
Oh, really? It's Owen. Wow, that is a hell of a coincidence. Really? I don't remember.
We watched this.
Oh, we absolutely watched this. No. This is not one of those times I'm going to dispute you. I do remember that. I remember there's a particular bit that I died laughing. I remember laughing watching this movie. But also, to be fair, it's 2010s, and I'm a very different person.
That's just it, right? like I know. I really liked this when I watched this.
I have a sophisticated palate now, as much as I hate it.
But
as much as I'm
a
loath
little
to admit it.
I'm a little bit snootier.
Yeah, it really is. My palate is a bit more refined now. It's kind of funny where I'm like, man, I remember liking this movie.
I remember this being better than it. Like, and that's where I say it really is like it really is like Garfield in a lot of ways. That first Bill Murray Garfield.
Absolutely, it's that Bill Murray Garfield. Absolutely is. This thought it was going to be a franchise. It's one of those movies where you could tell.
It got a sequel.
No, okay.
It got an animated sequel in 2022.
They made another animated movie, but it's not a sequel to this. I don't think they've ever made a sequel to this.
I just know that it says here an animated sequel was released in 2022.
Marmaduke in it, but I would not call it a sequel. It doesn't look anything like this. And it's, importantly, not live action. But if Owen Wilson is Marmaduke, then I will concede it is a sequel.
No, it's Pete Davidson as Marmaduke in that one.
All right, then.
And J.K. Simmons, Brian Hull.
What's Marmaduke? The only thing because I don't think Marmaduke talks. I've read Marmaduke comics. I don't think he talks in his comics. Like, I don't think he's traditionally a talking character.
I don't know. I don't really.
But yeah, his whole bit is he's clumsy. He's a big clumsy dog, and he gets into trouble.
He's a big clumsy Great Dane in this one. I don't know about in the original, but he's a Great Dane.
For some reason, I thought he was a German. No, you're right. He's a Great Dane. Yeah,
he's a Great Dane.
He's a massive Great Dane, and that's the whole gag.
And again, this is where it's like I don't know. Unlike Garfield, I don't know enough about the original comic to know or care about any of these characters. So I don't know what characters are just for this movie and what characters are references to the comic.
To my knowledge, he doesn't have a ton of supporting characters in his comics.
Because like in this one, the owner also owns a cat, so he has like a cat that he lives with.
Yeah, I think to be fair, I'm very limited knowledge of Marmaduke. I have read his comics, but I think his whole joke is that he just knocks shit over. Like, you know how Garfield has like the same 3 jokes. You know, he eats Mondays, he likes lasagna, and he hits spiders, and that's it.
And he launches Odie off of the couch.
And he kicks Odie off of the counter. Yeah, that's true. Marmaduke's, I think his one gag is that he pulls the guy around and he knocks shit over. I don't think there's anything more to him beyond that. Like, he's a pretty one-note character, to my knowledge, but also it's been a while.
Some of the voices in this are ones you would recognize though. You've got Emma Stone is the energetic Australian Shepherd.
All right.
You've got Fergie as Jezebel, rough collie. You've got Kiefer Sutherland as Bosco.
Boy, is he sufferlanding in this.
You've got Sam Elliott. He's
Really?
Chupadogra.
God, I hate that feeling of like, I've seen this movie. I've seen this movie more than once, in fact, in pieces. And I couldn't tell you a goddamn thing about it. I didn't even remember that Owen Wilson was Marmaduke. I don't remember Marmaduke talking in that movie.
And yet, he does. And he is. In your defense, this movie was not received well. It got negative reviews from critics and fans alike. It is one that will probably be relegated to the annals of history as a thing not worth remembering. And that's where I say it's very much a product of its time.
2010's talking animal movie.
Yeah, it's pretty much exactly what you think it is.
Garfield was popular. Let's see if we can do it again.
Marmaduke and family moved to I think it's California or something, run into the zany cast of characters that we see in the movie, which is why I think that they're probably just characters for the movie.
I suspect they're just characters. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a support, but this is gonna be one of those times where I'm sure somebody in the comments is gonna be like, "You Philistines know nothing about Marmaduke."
You're right. I don't.
How dare you speak of Marmaduke?
He wasn't one of the ones. You know, one of the things that I'm kind of surprised that they've never tried to bring back in a TV format, or do some sort of movie for, is Dilbert.
Yeah, I think that's probably has everything to do with the fact that the guy who makes Dilbert, oh man, it doesn't feel good to speak ill of the dead, sucked. That probably has everything to do with it. But you're right. You're right. They never managed to bring Dilbert back. I also think just because Dilbert is just a character that is once again of a particular moment in time in history.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't have much more to say about this movie. There's really not much more to say. Marmaduke, wants to be able to date the pedigree dog, and the Australian Emma Stone dog helps him to become, the dog that she would be, that the other one would be interested in.
You picture them breeding and it confuses you.
Not as bad as it could be.
Okay.
Emma Stone's character is an Australian Shepherd, so she's like medium size, like Rufus sized.
All right. I mean, it could be worse.
A little bit bigger than Rufus, kind of like a border collie.
You're like, oh, this. I'm picturing this in my head. Like the one I never got is when you get like.
But it's not like it's like a Chihuahua.
It's like you see a Chihuahua Pitbull mix, and the Chihuahua is the male, and you're like.
No. See, I mean, it's worse when you think
physically,
of the other way. The other way is worse.
No, but I'm just like physically, you're like, how did they give him a pair of stairs? Like, how did he even get up there?
The female laid down.
All right, that makes sense. I could see that.
We're thinking about this too much, Justin. We need to move on.
I think we need to move on. Jordan, is that it?
I mean, like I said, what else is there to say about this nothing of a movie?
I said it's a nothing of a movie. Speaking of nothing of a movie, Um, so initially I had picked a dog's purpose, and for reasons that will become evident later, I couldn't do schmaltz. I couldn't do it. I remember that movie being schmaltzy and just awful and just not very good. And I just couldn't bring myself to have to put in the effort that would have been required. I just wanted something that was on streaming. And this popped into my head, and it was Clifford the Big Red Dog. I completely forgot about Clifford the Big Red Dog. Now, I love Clifford the Big Red Dog. Clifford the Big Red Dog is very much like a thing from my childhood. Much older, I was reading about Clifford the Big Red Dog. Much older than I kind of realized. 1986 it came out. So like 4 years before I was born. And 18 books. Yeah, I was impressed. I was like, I did not know there were that many Clifford the Big Red Dog books. Made into at least 2 successful animated shows. The premise of Clifford the Big Red Dog is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. His name is Clifford, and he's a big red dog. The whole bit is that he was he was the runt of the litter, so he was the smallest puppy, and they didn't think he was going to make it because he was so small. And so in order to keep him warm and safe, Emily Elizabeth poured all of her love into him, and that caused him to grow beyond the size of a regular dog. Initially, he can fit in their small apartment, and then he gets so big that he can no longer fit in their small apartment, and they have to move to a much bigger house, and he's as big as their house.
I always loved the Clifford the Big Red Dog. He had all my favorite characteristics, Justin. He was red, which was my favorite color. He was a dog, which I loved. I loved dogs. And he was big. Who doesn't want a big dog?
You could ride him like he was a horse. I mean, who wouldn't want to ride a dog like they were a horse?
Just saying.
My question is like, could a dog support the weight of a human if it were that size?
But I mean, yes, there's videos where you see big dogs carrying little humans.
Okay, that's fair.
But the one drawback about Clifford, Justin, and the one reason why I love Clifford, but I would never want to have to deal with
it's the poop situation, isn't
it? The excrement wow. You need to hire like a team to deal with that.
I mean, even by the time he doesn't get house size by the end of this movie, he's still a puppy, and so he's like more of a small horse size. But even then, you're using a shovel. That's pretty big. That's the one thing. Okay, the one thing I don't like about this movie is, you see him at the beginning. He's with his family and he's a little puppy, and then John Cleese finds him, and John Cleese plays a magic.
Wait, the John Cleese?
Yes, well, he's playing a character, but yes, it's John Cleese. He is a magic circus guy who has like a magic tent where he has a bunch of magic animals that you get when you're not looking for a pet, but you need a pet. And he's really well known in the city and famous because he shows up. The whole plot of this is Emily Elizabeth lives with her mom, and they're divorced, and they're living in a tiny apartment, and the mom is a workaholic, and they are British, and then they've got the uncle who is irresponsible. He's an irresponsible uncle, but he is American for some reason, despite the fact that he's played by a famously British actor. Don't think about it. And they run into John Cleese, and John Cleese says, you have to love this dog, and if you love this dog, it'll grow. And then it's implied that the reason why Clifford grows is because of magic, and I don't like that, because the whole thing with Clifford is he's just big. Like, it's one of those, like, it's the kind of story which serves to teach children the lesson that not everything requires an explanation. Some things just are. Like, you don't need to explain every little thing. He's just big because he's big. Like, there's no reason for it. You don't need to explain why he's big. You don't need to have an explanation for it. Like, you don't need to be like, oh, it's magic. It's kind of lazy. It's not exceptionally interesting. The more interesting. So as the movie goes on, they eventually introduce. There's an evil corporation, because there's always an evil corporation, and they want Clifford because they've developed technology that can make things grow, and they want to dissect Clifford so that they can discover what makes him so big. And they inject him with a nano. They're chasing after
Science. They inject him with science.
That basically puts in this nano thing or whatever that tells people if they scan him that Clifford belongs to them. And then Clifford,
like a chip like dogs have.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And it's like it adds this level of drama and danger to a Clifford the Big Red Dog movie that it didn't need. Like, you didn't need the evil corporation who wanted to dissect Clifford. Like, not every movie needs to raise the. Not every movie based on a children's property needs to raise the stakes to a point of it being over the top, I guess. Like, him being a big dog and being clumsy and breaking things and her having to hide him, and that's enough drama. Like, it doesn't need the evil corporation who wants to kill Clifford. It's Clifford the Big Red Dog. He doesn't need the additional drama. Like,
and if you're gonna put in additional drama, then you need to have an equally big cat who is way too smart and bullies Clifford.
Or it's something. It's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, it doesn't add. Also, the brother is an illustrator. Like, he draws so the ending of the movie ends with him drawing Clifford as the same design as he is in the books.
Well, that's kind of cute.
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of neat. And I will say, a thing I appreciate, because I'm going to compliment Sandwiches to wrap up. I did like the fact that it does leave room for a sequel. Like, he's only a puppy. Like, we don't get to see full-size Clifford by the end of this movie. He's still still growing. So if they ever did do a sequel to this, you could have fully grown Clifford where they have to move out of the house and move to the country. And that's
when did this come out?
2020, I think.
Okay, so there could be a sequel.
I think they could do a sequel. I'd watch more of this. I like Clifford. Later. I don't know that I'd pay money to watch this, but I would definitely watch it on streaming. But I enjoyed this. It was cute.
Like God intended.
I didn't love. I'm never a fan of CGI dogs. Like, CGI dogs never quite. They're just not the same as having a tactile. Oh, that sounds so bad, but it's not as bad as having a real dog in a movie. Like, it just humans we're just not quite good at replicating the behavior of a dog in a movie yet. I don't think, really. So it's just, it's one of those, like, he's a CGI dog and he acts like a CGI dog, and it gets a little awkward. Obviously you can't have a real big dog. I mean, maybe you could have done it with practically. There might have been a way to do it practically, but obviously he has to.
Here's what I'll say, Justin. They managed to make Frodo Baggins look small. They could make a dog look big.
I suppose that's true. I think this movie perhaps would be more benefit. It would benefit it more to be a cartoon, I think, but like an expensive one. Like put some money into it. But yeah, an animated, like a nice hand-drawn 2D animated movie that looks like the books. I think this would be better served as. I don't think it needed to be live action. Which is funny. Fair. We're going to put a pin in that sentiment for later. Because, yeah. That's it. That's Clifford the Big Red Dog. Cute movie.
So, my last rapid fire. So it's 1994, Justin. A year before this, Free Willy came out. And so whoever made this was clearly like, all right, we need another aquatic based creature that's cute that we can just schlock out and make a movie about.
Get the water dog. Let's get the water dog.
And they got the water dog. They got the rights to a book called A Seal Called Andre, and they made an adaptation of it.
I'd be willing to bet very loosely adapted.
Probably. But a sealed called.
I have traumatic. It's funny how you were like, I don't understand why. I have traumatic memories of this movie. Like, I remember the bit where spoiler alert, they nearly shoot the seal. I remember that being upsetting. But to be fair, I think I was like 6 or 7 at the oldest.
I mean, this came out in 1994, so yeah, probably 6 or 7.
6 or 7
when you watched it.
5. We owned this movie. We had it on VHS. We definitely owned.
See, it's funny because I don't remember watching this prior to this.
You would have been really young, but this was one of the movies that had the the Happy Days, the Paramount.
That's the only reason I even thought of this movie was because of that trailer.
This is one of the movies we owned that was part of that collection. This and I think it was also on the Charlie Brown VHS tape. But yeah, that's the only reason why we definitely own this movie. Definitely owned it. I remember it was in the paper. The paper.
So for those who don't know what this movie is, because they might not.
Possible. I can imagine it's more unknown.
It's one of those ones where I could see people not knowing. Basically, it starts where the local fishermen in this town in Maine, Rockport, Maine. It's 1962 in the movie, and the fishermen are frustrated with the seals. Because they are siphoning away their fish.
Pretty
and so
beef. Fishermen often don't like seals.
And so they I don't remember if it was a specific group or who, but someone ends up shooting a bunch of the seals, and the family ends up with this baby seal, which they name Andre. And the dad is the harbor master for the area. And no, the dad is one of the ones who is trying to save the seal. But then over the course of the movie, there's government people who are like, yeah, you can't keep the seal. You're not allowed to do that. That's against the law. And he's like, I'm not. It just keeps coming back to me. It's not my fault. And then the person comes during the winter one time when they have him in a tub, and they're like, yeah, it sure as hell looks like you're like keeping him and raising him as a pet. Which, if you don't let him out of here and boot him back into the wild, you could go to jail because of this. And so it's this whole thing where over the course of the movie,
for that feels like a finable offense. I don't think that's a jailable offense.
In the 60s? I have no idea.
Oh, this takes place in the 60s?
This takes place in the 60s.
I don't know. That is a thing. You're not allowed to keep seals as a pet, and no,
or touch them, or pet them, or do anything.
That's very much a legit thing. Now, if the argument is that he's rehabilitating them, you have to have a special license for that to do that. But also that seal, you can't release that seal into the wild. That would be unethical. You have to take it to a zoo now.
Which they do at a certain point, but ultimately, for whatever reason, he lets his. I think at that point it's been a couple years, so I think she's supposed to be like 11 or something at that point. But he ultimately lets his 11-year-old daughter make the decision of what should be done. Because
you can't release him into the wild. That would be very bad. He can't feed himself or hunt for himself.
I mean they do, and then he then proceeds to make the thousands of mile journey and comes back to where they live, and that's basically how the movie ends.
I mean, fair, but you shouldn't, because that would be.
And that part is apparently true. Where they released the seal. I looked it up. They released the seal, and every year it would make the trip back to them.
This is based on a true story.
Yeah, it is.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
It's based on this movie. That's where I said at the beginning. This movie is based on the book A Seal Called Andre, which was based on a true story.
You did not say that the book was based on a true story. You said it was based on a book, but you did not say that it was based on a true story.
I guess I missed that part. Yes, no, the book was based on a true story.
So then, yeah, definitely. Oh my. Okay, yeah, for sure, Free Willy came out or was coming out. They saw that Free Willy was coming out, and for sure they went, what's a true story on a marine animal we can use and make a movie? There's no way. I refuse to believe that. This is now my conspiracy theory. I refuse to believe that they didn't go, what's a famous story about a famous seal or famous marine animal that we can make into, but also I mean, to be fair, it's been so long since I've seen it. I don't remember this being like Free Willy at all, but other than the basic premise.
It's not, it both is and isn't. It's hard to describe. I can see the connection. I could, as I was watching it.
Whenever you see videos online and you see it's like a seal and it's really friendly towards humans, that's probably a seal that was raised by humans and released back into the wild. They oftentimes seals who have been raised in the wild, they know enough to not hang around, but they will interact with humans. because they're used to it. Same thing with dolphins. There's often dolphins who have been released who will approach
Interesting
people.
thing about this movie, apparently, according to this, it was shot in both Vancouver and Mississippi.
Huh. I mean, Vancouver makes sense because harbor seals are from Vancouver. They come here. So that makes sense.
I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting. I'm gonna have to watch this movie now. Jordan, you've convinced me. I'm gonna have to find an excuse to watch this movie. Maybe we'll do another based on a true story.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that it's a bad movie. It was definitely so controversial opinion. Up on rewatching Free Willy, which that comes next, and I'll dive more into that in a second. But I think I like this one more.
Ooh, I don't feel strongly enough about Free Willy to be defensive. I'm really not.
I'll get onto why after you talk about your next one, and I then get back to Free Willy. But that's Andre. That's my last rapid fire.
My last rapid fire, Jordan. Jordan said that we had done this on the show before. I don't remember doing this on the show before, but evidently we did. And that's a movie called Freebirds.
We did. I talked about this one.
As a reminder, Freebirds.
I think it was a rapid fire. But
Freebirds is about a turkey who is from a turkey farm. The beginning of this movie is really dark, where they have the turkey farmers taking the turkeys to the shed. You see them getting killed, and you're like, oh, this is dark.
Yeah, that's why I will always remember it, because I remember when we first watched this. I think that was during that period of time where you worked there as well.
Yep.
And we were the bad guy.
Yeah, there's a bit where there's two turkeys in this. There's the one who is played by Owen Wilson. He's played by Owen Wilson, and then you've got the other turkey who is played by Woody Harrelson. And yeah, he's from Owen Wilson's turkey is from a free-range turkey farm, and the other
one is from a turkey processing plant.
Turkey processing plant. And there's a scene where he escapes, and you see two guys in boots, gum boots, hard hats, and lab coats come out and take eggs from him. And yeah, that's what we wore when we worked at a turkey processing plant at the time, and that's what we wore. And we were really, really stoned, and
it was upsetting. It was upsetting.
It was really upsetting. We were like, oh my god, we're the bad guys in a children's movie. And then we told our dad, we told our friend, and he thought it was funny, and he would not stop laughing.
It's because he didn't work. He wasn't the bad guy.
He's never stopped making fun of us for it.
I was the bad guy.
But I think this movie's underrated. I really do. I think it's funnier than I think not enough people know about it. I think it's funnier than it gets credit for. I think that the twist that spoiler alert, that the Owen Wilson turkey is the great turkey, and that it's all a time loop, I think it's funny. I think that's a funny bit, and I don't think the movie telegraphs it terribly. Like, I don't think it gives it away. Like, the most of them, it does a good job of making you think that he's just unhinged. So it doesn't occur to you that he might be the great turkey, and I think that's a fun twist. The wild turkeys in the past, they're fun. What else? There was something else. The him being pardoned at the beginning, where he's just chilling, eating pizza all day. I like the fact that although him going back in time and changing it. Spoiler alert: they change it so that we no longer eat turkey.
They take turkey off the menu.
And they replace it with pizza, which Native Americans would not remotely be capable of making, but whatever. Or the people, the settlers of that time, would not be remotely capable of making. They'd just be like, "What is this strange food?" And then they probably wouldn't make it. That's my one thing. I don't think we get to see. Pretty sure at the end you don't get to see what the future looks like. That they fixed it. I don't think, because it ends with him going into the time machine, and then coming back a few moments later, being like, "I've been gone for weeks. Have you heard of turducken?" That's how it ends. And yeah, it's not
so stupid.
It's not Disney or DreamWorks, so it's cheap looking. Like, it's a lot like Hoodwinked in that regard. But I just think the writing is so clever. And
the animation is nowhere near as bad as Hoodwinked.
No, that's a low bar. But like, it's one of those, like, it doesn't It does it. It does. It's animated by a company you've never heard of.
I would kind of more attribute the animation to, in terms of quality, to Blue Sky, like
Early Blue Sky.
Rio quality.
I would have said Ice Age,
Mm, I would say Rio.
but it's not. It's not Disney and it's not DreamWorks. Is the point? It's just
No,
it's
and it's not Pixar.
it's not Pixar. I mean, Pixar is Disney. It's all the same
Mm,
umbrella.
mm,
It's all the
I don't
same
think they.
shit.
I don't think they would appreciate that.
Yeah, well, they're not here, are they?
They're here in spirit.
Oh, that is true. That's it. That is Freebirds.
Keeping with the free, we're going back to Free Willy. So 1993, a year before Andre, we have a movie where a little orphan boy is a little shit. He's an unlikable character for a good chunk of the movie, and is irritating. And he ends up with foster parents after he's caught stealing and doing bad things. And he broke into Free Willy, the adventure park or whatever, and graffitied it. So he, part of his parole or whatever, part of his thing is that he is being forced to clean it. And repaint it and help them out. And then once he's done with that, him and Free Willy him and Willy, not Free
He's
Willy,
not Free Willy yet. He's very much Captive Willy.
him and Willy develop a bond, and then he starts training, like helping to train Willy so that they can convince the owner of Adventure Park to increase the size of his pen. And if I was the trainer that got brought in to train Willy, and what was he, 13, 12, a 12-year-old boy is having success where an adult, failed, and a professional failed, I wouldn't be quite as happy as she is. I'd probably be a little embarrassed.
I certainly wouldn't let that kid go in that tank with that whale. Because whales are incredibly, especially killer whales, are unbelievably dangerous.
I mean, they only do once they see that the whale likes him.
Yeah, even if a whale likes you, he will still try to kill you.
But no, this one's an expertly trained movie whale.
Yeah, they're especially dangerous.
But and so then it's a point where the owner is not getting his money back with Willy, and so he has his boys, his goons, try to damage the tank so that Willy will quote unquote accidentally die, because he is worth more dead than he is alive because of the insurance money. So then
probably true.
So then the kid, the trainer of the whale, and the caretaker of the place, all whale nap Willy so that they can help him escape. And then there's this whole chase scene where the bad guys are trying to stop them.
And then they do that bit where they're like, yeah!
Yeah! As Willy magically jumps over the seawall, which would be way too high.
And Willy's like, I'm gonna be totally fine despite having lived in captivity. Don't worry about me. I still have all my hunting instincts.
Yeah, the whale was played by Kiko.
And they tried to release him.
And once this movie was, I think it was after the third one or something, they tried to release him and it didn't go well.
It did not. We talked about that once.
We did.
And it very famously did not go well.
Future Justin can cut it in here.
Yeah, I probably could. I might. We'll see. We'll see how the week goes. I
may.
But yes.
But
the short version is, for the people watching now, is turns out that when you feed a fish, a whale, nice dead fish, and you just give it to him, it doesn't want to kill fish.
It doesn't want to hunt anymore.
It does not want to hunt anymore because why would it? Fun fact.
And
the wild fucking sucks.
And it's way harder.
Basically, they put him in a what effectively became a larger like one of those safari zones, but for whales, and they would effectively take the whale for a walk and feed him and have to take care of him because he did not have the skills, and there was no way to train the skills into him because he did not have them from birth.
Yeah, pretty much.
This
And
also ends with
so,
that song by Michael Jackson, where he's like running down the river Jordan, ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da, as whales play in the background.
alrighty then.
Did you not watch that bit in the ending credits
No,
where
no, I didn't.
Michael Jackson being like
No.
running
Once it
down the
hit the credits,
river
I
Jordan?
once it hit the credits, I stopped. So I think I actually like Andre more, and that purely has to do with the fact that for way too much of this movie, the 12-year-old orphan is insufferable.
Right? Yeah, yeah. I do remember that. I do. See, I have mixed feelings about this movie. I remember liking both simultaneously liking it and not liking it at the same time. I remember the bits without the whale, not enjoying those so much.
Yeah, it's a weird one where it's like I remember having a deep nostalgia for it. We had it on
I
VHS, and I
absolutely had it
remember
on
watching
VHS.
it to death. Um, but as I was watching it, I was like, I don't like it. I both do
I
and
don't
don't
think I like
remember.
this movie.
Not so much that, more just like I both do and don't remember large sections of it.
Yeah, I know that they made, yeah, like, you already brought them up, but I think there's 3 sequels.
Yeah, well, there's three of them,
There's
at
three.
least at least three of
So
them.
there's at least 2 sequels.
Yeah.
3 including this one.
Yes.
I know that the kid comes back for the second one, and I'm pretty sure the second one is about like, yeah, trying to get him to trying to integrate him with a pod, if I recall.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I've definitely seen
I
it.
think
I've definitely
I
seen
think the
it.
first one is, if I remember correctly, the second one is about finding him a pod and integrating him with it, and then the third one, this is just me
Don't
going
remember
off
the third one.
memory. The third one I think was about helping him breed.
That makes sense because I don't think the kid's in the third one. I think they introduce a girl in the second one, and I think she's the main character in the third one. But I'm pretty sure the kid's only in the second one, and the second one was straight to DVD. The rest of them were all straight to DVD. They didn't go to theaters, which is crazy because this movie made a shit ton of money. But also, it's the kind of movie you just couldn't make today. You just could.
Free Willy 2 is called The Adventure Home. It's set 2 years after Jesse freed him, and he's now reunited with his family, which includes his sister Luna, his brother Little Spot, and his mother Cat's Paw. Plot follows Jesse in a race against time after an oil spill separated Willie and his siblings from their mother.
Oh, well, I'm completely wrong.
And it's set up to get him back home before the ale traps them in the cove for good. Now I'm curious what the third one is.
Maybe that's the third one being about him breeding sounds familiar. That sounds right. I think it's like Willie's kid.
The Rescue. 16-year-old Jesse. So Jesse does come back for the third one.
Oh shit! Okay.
He's an Orca research assistant. Uh,
God, I clearly remember nothing about these sequels. I know I've seen the second one. I'm positive I've seen the second one. I don't think I've seen the third one, but I've definitely seen the second one.
this it's going to be harder to read about the third one because the summary is not there and it just has the full plot, and I'm not reading the full plot
All right, that's
of
fair.
the third one.
Jordan, is this?
But it sounds like it's basically like they introduce a new 10-year-old character.
Yeah.
Who is like there's this whaling. He's part of a whaling family, and Jesse has to stop them from whaling.
Oh, on the moon?
If by the moon you mean the water.
Or whalers on the moon. We carry
So,
a harpoon.
yeah, to bring it all back to Free Willy, real quick, had a budget of 20 million. You want to guess what its box office was?
100 million.
153.7 million.
I mean, that's
Which for 1993 money, that's pretty
That's a
good.
big hit, yeah. Yeah, these movies were.
Yeah, and Sorry?
I saw a clip of one person who was in it. Who was like, "Yeah, I would never make that movie today." So,
it would be very different if it was made today. The animal would talk.
I mean, yeah, the person was like, "Yeah, they're asking, oh, you rode the killer whale." She was like, "Yep, knowing what I know now, would never do that today."
When I saw that in the movie, when I saw him riding it, I was like, I don't think you're supposed to do that.
Oh, that's
I think
really unsafe.
I think that's a really bad idea.
For Jordan, is that it for Free Willy?
There was a fourth one.
Yeah, that's the one I think he might not be in. I know there's one of them that Jesse isn't in.
Which came out in 2010.
But Jordan, is that it for Free Willy?
Holy shit. Yes, that's it for Free Willy. Holy shit.
Okay.
And there was a show. There's two seasons of a show.
We don't have time to deal with that. Jordan, my first thing. Oh boy. Okay. So Jordan, this is a spoiler alert for what Jordan's going to talk about. Jordan decided he wanted to talk about notoriously sad. Well, I was looking at the list first of all, and one movie jumped out, and I didn't want to do it. I wasn't going to do it, and then Jordan was like, "I'm going to watch Old Yeller," which basically pulled out the velvet glove, and slapped my face.
Yeah, yours is worse.
And this is Marley and Me.
Yours is worse.
And like. Yeah, there was definitely a point at the
end.
You
win.
When I went, Jordan, you're a goddamn monster and I hate you. Why did you do this to me? Why did you pull out the velvet glove and slap my face? Why'd you do it? Because I've seen this movie 3 times,
we were doing animal movies.
Every single, I'm burying the lead. I've seen this movie 3 times. I cry every single fucking time. I cried the first time I watched it in theaters. I cried again when I watched it by myself. And then I cried a third time when I watched it the other day. I cried worse because it turns out being stoned makes you cry so much worse. I found myself being like, I don't even really understand why. Because the circumstances of the dog dying is not sad or tragic. The dog lives a very long and fulfilling life, and I think that's to this movie's credit that it. Okay, so for those of you who have not seen Marley and Me, it is about a writer named John Grogan, who is a real guy. This is based on a true story, and Marley was a real dog, and he wrote a column about his life, and a lot
Marley
of times,
and Me.
Huh?
Marley and Me.
Well, the column wasn't called Marley and Me. The column was just about his life, and it happened to involve a lot of Marley, but it wasn't always about Marley. And just like in the movie, the columns aren't always about Marley, but they always wind up being about Marley. And so he combined all of those columns into a book, made them into a book, and this movie's based off of that book. And yeah, the stuff. Credit to everyone. Owen Wilson. Again, third time popping up this week, is honestly good in this. He's really quite good. He's subtle. Him and Jennifer Aniston is his wife. They are a believable couple. They have believable couple problems. There isn't an over-the-top moment of they get divorced or whatever. They fight. They have ups and they have downs, just like any regular people would. And it's about he initially gets a dog because the wife wants a baby, but he's not ready for a baby, but they're ready to like evolve their relationship. So they get Marley, and Marley is a terror on 4 legs. He pulls, he chases, he runs, he chews things up, he destroys things.
He's a golden retriever, right?
He's a Labrador retriever.
Labrador, right.
And he's a golden lab. He's afraid of thunderstorms, and when there's thunderstorms, he causes all kinds of damage. And yeah, the movie's basically John Grogan's life along with his interactions with Marley. And you see Marley go from a little puppy to a senior dog. And you see John Grogan, he eventually has kids. He inevitably has three kids. When he has the second kid, there's a part where the wife has like a version of postpartum depression. And then they eventually have a third kid. And it bounces around his career and such. And it eventually ends with they move out to they grow up in Florida, and they move to like I think it's like Minnesota or some midwestern like part of the country, and it gets to the bit at the end where Marley is now old and he can't really do all the things he used to do. He can't go upstairs.
He takes him for one last walk, doesn't he?
He sleeps downstairs, and there's a bit where they can't find him. Like he goes to go, they goes to let him out to go to the bathroom. And what's funny is as Marley gets older, he becomes more relaxed, more subdued, more like he starts to lose his energy, but in like a positive way, where like that puppy energy kind of burns out. And so yeah, there's a bit where they can't find him, and they find him out in the rain, and his stomach has flipped, and they're like, it's pretty common ailment that dogs often go through. They're like, typically when it happens, it's gonna happen again. It's just sort of a matter of like when, not
Yeah, making them comfortable until
yeah.
it happens.
And so he manages to survive through the night, and he lives for a little while longer. And one of the kids says that when dogs die, they often don't want to be around the people that they love, so they go off and they hide when they know that it's time. And so it gets to the end, and they go and they find him outside, out by a tree, and he's just lying there. He doesn't have any energy anymore. They can't get him to do anything. And there's a bit where Owen Wilson walks him up to a ledge, and they're just sitting there looking over the ledge, and he says, he's like, Marley, you'll tell me when it's time, right? You'll tell me that, you'll let me know, right? And yeah, so that happens. And he takes him to the vet, and once again the stomach slipped or whatever. And yeah, the kids, man. Oh my God, it's the kids. There's the bit where the whole family knows that this is the last time they're gonna get to see Marley, and they're putting him into the car, and the little girl gives him his little stuffy, and he's like, "Don't chew on it, okay?" And the oldest son, it says goodbye to him, and they all say goodbye to him or whatever. Takes him to the hospital, and Owen Wilson has this devastating little speech, little dialogue with Marley, where he basically is like, we called you the worst dog, but in fact that's not true. You're the best dog. And it's really emotional, and it really hits you, and it just makes you think of every person, animal, thing you've ever lost in your life, and it makes you feel every bit of loss and tragedy you've ever felt, all condensed into one moment and one dog. And you're like, oh my God, I'm like weeping. I'm like, and yeah, they dog passes away. They take him home, and they're burying him. They have a little funeral, and they all say like words to say goodbye to him. And the son, goes to the oldest son, and he's like, he knows. And I'm like, right in my heart.
Hit me in the feelings.
Getting the feelings. And like the only reason, like I was gonna be like, if you don't cry at the end of this movie, you're an absolute monster. But also, like, if you're not a dog person, like, there are people out there who are genuinely not dog people, and like, fair enough. If you're not a dog person, this will not mean anything to you. But if you're not a dog person, why are you watching a movie about a dog? But like,
fair point.
One day I'm gonna watch this and not absolutely bawl my eyes out at the end. But it is rough, and it's such a rough feeling because you're like, I don't know why this feels so. It's like you're feeling grief for a fictional dog. Because the movie does such a good job of showing
but it makes
his entire life and being like, oh no, he lived a fulfilling life, but losing something you love
is always hard.
Still fucking hurts.
So hurts. Here's an interesting question for you. Do you think? How do I word this? In terms of the emotional gut punch of this movie, do you think it would achieve the same result if it was a different breed of dog?
Yes. For me it would, because I just feel for dogs generally. I think a better question would be, would it have the same impact if it were a cat?
Or another animal like a goat?
Yeah. Yes. But that's just because the movie's really effective and emotionally manipulative and knows how to play on your emotions. To be fair, the theme of this is like, oh, it's your first dog and dealing with your first dog, so maybe not, but it would for me. I can't speak for everybody, but in this instance, it would for me. Depending on the context and how it did it, it would. But to be fair, I'm discovering in my 30s I am a highly emotional creature who it doesn't take much to get me nowadays. So, just being honest, this stuff.
Yeah.
I cried at the end of Clerks 3. And then I felt stupid. So, like, yeah. I think it's just the age I'm at now. That's it. That is Marley and Me. Hard recommend.
So okay. My second have seen. You've just talked about this really deep, emotional, well-made piece of cinema, which really made you feel things. So I think it's only suitable that I talk about Lion King 1.5. Um,
Rosencrantz and
so
Guildenstern. Hey man, it does have some Shakespearean origin. There is a bit of class, just a little bit.
yeah, I mean, so this movie is both a prequel and a sidequel is what it refers to it as, to the original Lion King.
Midquel,
So
technically.
it refers to it as a sidequel.
A sidequel, same difference.
Takes place at the same time.
Yes.
But so basically it starts with it's a joke movie.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's stuff in it that's funny. Like it's not. I like this one, but it is what it is. The one thing that really saves it is the fact that number one, I believe Ernie Sambala and Nathan Lane are both in it, and Matthew Broderick I think is also in it.
Apparently, the film's structure is inspired by Tom Shepard's Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, a tragic comedy which tells the story of Hamlet from the point of view of two minor characters.
Yes. Yeah, they are Rosencrantz and Guildenstern from Romeo and Juliet. But yes,
I don't know who that is, but okay.
They're characters from Romeo and Juliet.
I mean, that's great. It doesn't mean that I know who they are. This was I'm pretty sure a straight to DVD, but yeah, basically, we're getting to see some of the background of the story, but how do they word it? The story that was always happening, but you didn't know was actually there.
My favorite jokes are I love the bit where it's be prepared. They're looking for a place to live.
Yeah. The various songs that like they're in the rock, and above them is I Just Can't Wait to Be King, and the reason why that they fall at the end is because Timon pokes one of the lower things, or in the beginning of the movie when all the animals are bowing and it's because Pumbaa farted, and so the back ones pass out and the future ones are like, they're bowing.
They're bowing. My favorite is when they walk in on Be Prepared and it shows them all dancing and then they're just like. They awkwardly walk out.
I mean, I love Dig a Tunnel. I still love that song. It's fun getting to see teenage Simba. The fact that they got so many of the original voices to come back,
yeah, pretty sure it's
is somewhat. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is Matthew Broderick. So the fact that they got him to come back as Simba is somewhat impressive for a straight to DVD.
Yeah. I think this was initially in its initial inception. It was going to be a theatrical thing, and then they just didn't.
I could believe that. You got Julie Kavner as Ma, who's Timon's mom.
It's Marge Simpson. I went.
It's Marge Simpson.
I looked it up. Sure enough, yeah, it's Marge Simpson.
It absolutely is. You got Rafiki is back. Robert Gillarn or whatever.
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg, Jim Cummings, Cheech Marin, they all came back. It's always fun when you can get the originals back. However, they did not get Rowan Atkinson to come back. Zazu is not Rowan Atkinson in this one. And it's a fun romp, Justin.
It's a romp.
You gotta not take it so seriously. It's a romp, okay?
It's a romp.
Nathan Lane as Timon is fantastic as always.
As always.
And Pumbaa is also there.
And Pumbaa's there too. Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata.
Phrase.
It means no worries.
Means no worries for the rest of your days. Is that it?
It's really that's all there is. There's not much more to say. Although I will say, I think that it would be really funny in Kingdom Hearts 4 if instead of doing Lion King 2 for the story of a Lion King world, if they did Lion King 1.5 somehow.
That would be funny.
I don't know how you would do it, but it would be funny. Maybe instead of bringing back, actually, this is how I would do it. Instead of for the umpteenth time bringing back Winnie the Pooh and having that be the mini game level, I would have it be where he goes to the Lion King world, and it's Timon and Pumbaa are telling Sora and the gang the story of the story behind the story, and those are all the mini games for the game instead of them being Winnie the Pooh.
That'd be fun. I'd be down for that. I'd be down for that. Jordan.
I'd enjoy that. That's Lion King 1.5. Justin, what's your next one?
All right, Jordan. So the reason why I picked Cute Animals was because I saw clips of this movie, and it made me go, I need to rewatch this movie. I need this movie to achieve redemption because I hated this movie the first time I watched it. I don't hate it anymore. I don't
hate
love
is such a strong
I don't
word.
love it. I still think it's bad, but that's Penguins of Madagascar. Now, here's the deal with Penguins of Madagascar, Jordan. The reason why I hated this movie so much the first time I saw it was I was expecting an origin story of the penguins explaining how they went back to the zoo. I was explaining there to be some sort of connective tissue to explain the continuity between the show and the movies, and it just didn't. And
Yeah.
there's a bunch of other additional details in this that I'm going to get to that
You
drive
were
me
expecting
fucking
too much.
crazy. But here's what I will say.
Before-
the research. Hold on.
Hold on. Before you jump in, my phone's at 13%. I'm gonna quickly switch over.
Okay. Okay, I'll wait. We'll wait. Wait for him to quickly switch over. He's switching over. This ran longer because of all the extra news this week. We had so much extra news.
Bluetooth. Encore. If it was any other movie, I think you would be short enough that we could push through it. But this is Penguins. You're going to be ranting about this for a while.
God damn it. I mean, okay. So when I was doing my research for this movie, I discovered there exists an explanation for the continuity of Penguins of Madagascar, Jordan. I finally found it. I finally found the answer, and it's an answer. And my number one thing is, as long as there's an answer, I don't care if it's a good one. And the answer is, Jordan, that Penguins of Madagascar, the show, came out before before Madagascar 2 came out. And they didn't know the ending of Madagascar 2. So far as the creators of that show are concerned, it takes place in an alternate universe.
Okay. All right. Okay. I can live with that.
Right, I can live with that. I can live with that explanation, and it will allow me to no longer be critical of a franchise
of that particular angle of the franchise
that I otherwise feel nothing for. I think these movies are bad. I don't understand why people like them. I don't think a single one of them is good. I think the most they can hope to achieve is being all right. I remember the third one being awful. This is terrible. But okay. It's a frustrating movie because it has the potential to be good. Like, there's a lot of jokes that are funny. Like, there's a funny bit where I don't remember exactly what they said, but there's a speech, and just out of nowhere a cricket plays. And it goes, no, that's the cricket noise, and it cuts and it's an actual cricket, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's my bad. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna this way. Oh, I'm sorry. No, this way." And so then at the end, when there's the big climax and the bad guy's doing his big attack, one of the bad guys goes for the cricket, and the cricket's like, "Is it because I chirped earlier?" As he gets crushed to death. That's funny. Or one of the characters is a wolf played by Benedict Cumberbatch who can't pronounce the word penguin. Because Benedict Cumberbatch
because he can't pronounce
penguin, so he constantly calls them penguins. Penguins. And I'm positive. I tried to look this up. I'm positive it's the only reason he's in this movie because he can't say penguins, and it's legitimately funny. Like, it's so, but this movie is so frustrating because it wants to do an origin for for the penguins, but it doesn't do anything. Or so like it shows them as kids, but they've already met, so it doesn't do anything to establish these characters, to do anything from an origin standpoint to introduce them. They're just already a thing, and then it cuts. And the bulk of the movie takes place after the third Madagascar movie. Basically, it starts, and they've been playing the version of "I like to move it" from the third movie, and they're sick to death of it. And they're like, "I hate that song. We need to get out of here right now." It's like the one benefit to buying a circus is you can launch yourself out of a cannon. They launch themselves out of a cannon, and the thing that makes the penguins frustrating is that they're hyper competent, but the movie wants you to think that they're idiots. So like the characterization of Skipper, the main penguin, is that of, in terms of his vocal timbre and like his characterization, he's more akin to like a Zap Brannigan. Like he's that kind of blowhard character, but he's an incredibly effective leader and tactician, and they succeed at their missions all the time and are really good at them and are hyper competent. But like the movie wants to introduce the wolf, the Arctic Brigade or whatever. There's a wolf, there's a owl, and then there's a polar bear as the competent versions of the penguins, but they're not as competent as the penguins. So the bits where they're like, oh, the penguins are a bunch of goofballs, don't work. Like all the emotional beats of it don't work. Or there's a bit at the end where like everyone's cheering for the one penguin as though that's been a character arc he's had the whole movie, but he hasn't. He hasn't. Like all these
just
characters have unearned character arcs that none of them are like established or developed in any way.
Just from the way you're describing it, it sounds to me like they want to treat the penguins, especially the leader of the penguins, as if he's more akin to what they set King Julian up to be, a bumbling idiot.
Yes, but
when he's not.
But
he's
they're
not.
They're not a bumbling. Like, and it's like, it ends up as this sort of spy movie of them versus this hyper intelligent octopus who hates penguins because every time he got transferred to a new zoo, a penguin would show up and steal his thunder and make everyone think that they're cute when he's not. So he has a human disguise where he disguises himself, and all of his,
like if they had done it where like throughout the first three movies they had set up the penguins to be where like they succeeded but like accidentally, or like they didn't understand what they were doing, then it would work. But they know exactly what they're doing and they understand things.
But like, yeah, if you're gonna do a solo, like, yeah, I would be much more interested in a movie about like how did the penguins get to the zoo? How did they develop like the plan to escape? Like the first movie implies that they've lived in the zoo their whole life, so you've now added this extra bit where they know they haven't lived in the zoo their whole life. So like, yeah, that would have been then this octopus who has a bunch of henchmen who are all named after celebrity puns, every single one, and none of them are funny. Like, and they're the kind of references that like, so like one of them is like, he's like, Hugh, Jack, man the battle stations. That's the joke. That's the joke. Or he's like Nicholas, cage them. And you're like, who is this? I'm an adult. I don't. So you said a celebrity name. The
kids that are watching this aren't going to get the reference,
and the adults don't think it's funny.
The adults are rolling their eyes,
right? Because it's not really funny. It's like that. Yeah, okay. You've said Nicolas Cage's name. That's the joke. Like I'm gonna see if I can put in a montage of him doing it. But like, there's way more examples, and they're progressively less and less funny.
Because the 7-year-old or 8-year-old kid that's watching this and finding this entertaining is not going to know who Nicolas Cage is.
No, and there's so many of those jokes. Like, I can't remember all of them because I watched way too much shit, but there's a bunch of them. Or there's one they do early on in the movie where the penguins are being chased, and it's something Italian, but it's the same kind of joke where he's like, look, it's this thing, and you're like, yeah, okay, you've said a thing. You've said a celebrity name. That's not a joke. Like, that's not really funny or clever, or like it's not a pun. Like, it's not like you're saying a pun about penguins. you're just saying a celebrity name as though it's a pun, and it's not a pun. Like, it's certainly not a funny pun. And yeah, there's so many moments in this where I wanted to like this. I did. And I'm like, it's such a frustrating movie because it could have been a better movie with just a few. It's one of those ones with just a few tweaks where this could be an interesting movie within the frame. Because again, the Penguins have some funny jokes that I can't remember all of them, but they have some legit like funny jokes. We're like, oh no, okay, no, this is funny. And then like it's funny and it's clever and this is a decently set up and well executed joke. And then the octopus is like, Nicolas Cage them, and you're like, this is like what's his face? The octopus is played by what's his face? Oh,
like it would have been the joke maybe would have been funny if the octopus. The joke would maybe be funny if the octopus was at least played by Nicolas Cage.
Right. Well, he's played by John Malkovich, and to his credit, he's having a blast. He is the character himself is super funny. Like he's got a lot of cutting one-liners that are genuinely very funny.
Right, but I'm saying like the joke would be somewhat funny if each of the persons that he says the joke to, like Nicolas Cage, that character is played by Nicolas Cage. Whatever, another one is played by that actor.
Even then,
it'd still be lazy, but at least it would be like, get it? Because he's played by that actor.
It's one of those like really, really arrogant jokes that thinks it's funny. And it's like, it isn't. I don't think it's funny.
Yeah, it's lazy.
Yeah. But anyway, I hated this less than I did the first time, which, maybe the next time I might actually like this.
You just need to have 2 or 3 shots beforehand.
I just gotta watch it 2 or 3 more times, Jordan, and then.
And they'll wear you down. They'll wear you down. So, okay. You already mentioned it earlier. We're going to knock this one out of the way because I didn't like it. Old Yeller.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
So when...
Dog dies at the end.
Yeah, he does. And I feel like I was supposed to feel sad about that.
I mean, it's an iconically sad movie. I feel like, you're supposed to be sad at the end of Old Yeller.
Oh.
Because the dog gets rabies and he dies. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
After fighting a badger or raccoon or skunk or bear.
So okay.
I mean, you didn't correct me on any of those, so I'm assuming he fought all of them.
He could have. I mean, it's hard to say.
You watched the movie. What do you mean it's hard to say?
It's hard to distinguish.
How did he get rabies?
I think it was the cow which gave it to him.
How did the cow get rabies?
I believe the cow got... Well, so in the movie, basically, there's a point. You're burying the lead. You're getting
the most interesting thing about this
movie. You're getting to the end before I have the time to complain about all the other things that I dislike about this movie. So, okay. When watching a movie that is from 1957, I really try to put myself into the mindset of a 1960s person, like, when you would have been watching this.
I mean, you would have watched it in 1957, but that's the 50s. But
only if you were rich and could afford to go to the theater.
I mean, I suppose that is.
I'm saying by the time it was on a way you could watch it otherwise, and it was cheap.
By the time it was in syndication on television, because that's how these things worked back in the day.
Then it would have had to have been a couple years later. Anyways, not the point. I try to watch it with that mindset, and so when is the time of this? 1860s. It's the late 1860s in the movie itself. And so that's important to note because for me, not that I ever condone this, but it makes certain character traits inexcusable because they wouldn't have been allowed in the 1860s when you were allowed to hit children.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. It was okay to hit your kids back then.
It not only would have been perceived as okay, they very much would have.
Encouraged, in fact.
yeah, they would have. And so, basically, in the beginning of the movie, the dad goes to do like this 3-month cattle run or something, basically, where he's fucked off for 3 months. And so his teenage son is left in charge of the place. He's gonna have to take care of the crops and all the animals, and he's the man of the house, right? And so he also has a little brother who
does he belt the little brother?
No, but he should have.
Oh, he's not properly disciplining the child. Then he spared the child. He spoiled the child.
There's the little brother who I think it's supposed to be like 8 or 9 or something. I don't actually remember. And so there's this dog who has been going from farm to farm, stealing things and harassing and eating people's crops and stuff like that. And the people refer to him as Old Yeller. And he shows up at our people's farm, and the little kid comes across him, and he's like, he's my dog now. He's my dog. You stay away from my dog. And like immediately develops a bond with Yeller. And the mom is like, oh, I don't remember the kid's name. Jim, I think, or Travis, I think the older son's name is. He's like, Travis, just let him have the dog, as if she wasn't the parent. He's the man of the house, but she's the parent. So I don't fully. That's where I'm like, I have to keep in mind when this is supposed to take place, and it's difficult for my 2026 sensibilities.
It's a big important thing when you're watching a movie from that time period. You got to remember, sexism and racism are very much a thing.
Yeah, it is. And so in this one, more
sexism, not the racism.
It's more sexism than racism.
Sexism than racism, but you get the point.
And so over the course of the movie, and I'm skipping through a decent amount here, but at first the older brother wants to get rid of Old Yeller because he stole a bunch of food and he's a real nuisance of a dog, right?
Also, yeah, you got to keep in mind like this is like well before really people considered animal rights as well.
Yeah, so he's trying to get rid of the dog by throwing stones at it and rocks at it.
You're like, oh, he's a dog. We should treat dogs nicely. They did not feel that way in the 1800s.
And then the little brother, is like, don't throw stones at my dog, and he throws rocks at his brother.
Good.
And I'm just no, not good. He's a little shit.
No,
he's an irritating little shit.
Jordan, I care more about dogs than I do people.
No, that's fair. He shouldn't be throwing the stone at the dog, but the way that the little brother acts is intolerable and annoying. That's where I say
you're wearing a child, though, right?
You would understand if you had watched it.
I'm gonna have to watch it one of these days
because he is the worst part of this movie, and it also becomes kind of annoying because in the beginning part of the movie refers to the Old Yeller as the little kid's dog. But then by the end of it, it refers to Old Yeller as the older brother's dog, and he's the one that has to put the dog down. And I'm like, but the entire reason why Old Yeller was staying and why they're dealing with him is because of the little kid. Why isn't the little kid the one shooting the dog?
I really don't think anyone should shoot the dog.
I mean, the dog has to be put down. He has rabies, Justin.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure this is where my ignorance comes in. Can't you not? Is rabies incurable in dogs?
Well, even if it was currently curable, which I can't speak to whether it is, I guarantee you it was not curable in 1860.
This is true. In the 1800s, it would not have been curable. Well, I assume it wouldn't have been curable.
Also, they don't refer to it as rabies. They call it something else.
Oh.
They refer to it as, let's see if I can find it.
It's rabies, though, right?
It is basically rabies. It's just a fancy name for it. Yeah, it was called water something.
I just don't understand how he got it from the cow. The cow bit him? Cows don't bite.
Hold on. I mean, they do when they're under attack or when they're stressed.
No, they head bite. That's.
What does Old Yeller get? And we'll see. We'll get the actual name of it. Hydrophobia.
Oh.
Sorry, no. He doesn't get it from the cow. Apparently there was a wild infected wolf, which I must have missed that part.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, that's what I figured. I was like, he was fighting a wolf or whatever.
He gets the
cow.
The cow did have it though.
Oh, the cow
That's the
got it
thing.
from the wolf.
The cow had to be put down because it had it. But no, yeah, he got it from a wolf while defending the family.
That makes
Um,
sense.
but yeah, and it's one of those. I think part of why it's so hard for me to engage with it is because it comes from the 1950s.
Yeah, you're not good at engaging with old movies.
It's hard for me because it's just they're so old fashioned.
You gotta, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. I know that you kind of. It does require a certain amount of like putting yourself in the mind frame of a person from 19. What did you say? 1957.
when this was filmed, it was 1957. What the movie takes place in is 1860s.
Right. So you got to put your mind in the mind frame of a person from 1956. Like it's just 55.
But that's where it also pulls me out of it because it's Disney. They handle that youngest child in a way that a family in the 1860s would not handle that
Oh, that's
child.
true. There'd be way more hitting him. I
Yes.
mean, not to be crude, but
Not that I think that
not
it's
that I'm condoning
okay.
that. I'm just saying there'd be way more hitting him.
There would be like there's a part where
But like that would be the
I
1950s
guess
equivalent of being woke or whatever. Oh, he didn't just hit the kid.
pretty much, yeah, and it kind of
Two movies
it
nowadays are too PC,
it,
Jordan. He didn't just hit the kid.
it weirdly reads that way for me.
This is the
In a very
this is the
strange
1950s equivalent
way.
of being progressive because he didn't hit the kid.
Um, because like yeah, well, there's a point where basically, I guess Old Yeller's owner or something.
I'm going to
There's
hell,
a
Jordan.
there's a guy with a cowboy hat who ends up showing up and he tries to take away Old Yeller. Um, and I think the idea is supposed to be he was Old Yeller's original owner. And the little kid, and the guy is a cowboy and he's on the horse. And the little kid literally runs out and starts throwing rocks at the horse. And the cowboy falls off the horse
Like,
and
get
is
out of
like
here.
almost hurt. And I'm like, that's a stranger. Your child is throwing rocks at a stranger and you're letting him get away with it. And like they play it off like, oh, that precocious child. And I'm like, I just feel like in the 1860s, that's not how they would handle this
No,
situation.
they give him the belt, Jordan. He'd get the belt.
Um,
You embarrassed us in front of Cowboy Man. Belt.
it's just and so it gets to the end.
God, I'm going to hell.
I've spent a lot of time, and it gets to the end, and yeah, the older brother wants to let Old Yeller out because he's not showing any signs of rabies, and then the younger brother goes to let him out, and he is showing signs of rabies, and they're like, the mom's like, we have to put him down. He's not going to get any better, and he's suffering. He's suffering. And then she goes to go and grab the gun. And he's like, no, I'll do it. He was my dog. And I'm like, but he wasn't? He was the little brother's dog.
That's one of those moments where you've seen it parodied 1,000 times in 1,000 different things. No,
Yeah.
it's my responsibility, ma.
And then it ends with, there
The
was
dog
a,
dies, right? Like there's no like.
yeah,
Oh, it
yeah,
turns
no,
out
the
he's
dog,
okay in the end.
no, the dog dies. The dog dies in the end. So meanwhile, and I've skipped this part because it's totally,
www. Does the dog die in the end?
I skipped this part because it was largely unimportant. But earlier in the movie, there's this one dude who has a daughter who I guess they're supposed to be family friends or something. And the daughter ends up spending a lot of time at the farm, and they have their own dog. And Old Yeller gets their dog pregnant. Their dog has puppies, and at a certain point, she tries to give the teenager the puppy, and he's all like, "Why? I don't need your dog. I have my dog. I have Old Yeller. I don't want your puppy." And she gets all upset, and then at the end of the movie, and she gives the puppy to the little brother, and he's like, "Oh, I finally have my own dog." And I'm like, "But you had your own dog. Old Yeller was your dog. What are you talking about?" Anyway, so we get to the end of the movie, and the little dog is showing signs of being having similar tendencies to Old Yeller, and the older brother is finally like, "Well, I guess I should take him under my wing and raise this one properly so he can be useful like Old Yeller was." And I'm like, "Oh, so you're just gonna take your little brother's dog again?" I thought that was his dog.
John, I thought you didn't
I
like the
thought
little brother.
I don't, but like if he's going to be irritating, you can teach him some responsibility by forcing him to grow up with the dog and learn how to be a proper adult, not a little brat.
That makes sense. That does make sense. I do see
For Old Yeller 2, when we have him as a grown up now with slightly older puppy, who ultimately gets rabies as well.
Boogaloo.
This movie I didn't like it.
I did not have a good time.
I didn't enjoy this movie, and I don't know if that's a controversial opinion.
You know, I didn't have a bad time this week. I'm just gonna say it. There's not a movie where I was like, oh, I'm having a bad time.
This was really, I think, one of the only ones for me.
That's fair. That's fair.
And that was mostly because, ironically, had not so much have to do with the ending. It was more because I found the little brother to be an intolerable character.
So you didn't feel sad at the end of it?
I mean, I did in the way that, like, you never want to see an animal be injured, but also he was kind of how do I say this? He was an old Western dog. So his lifestyle would not have merged with my own.
Gotcha.
So
you're telling me I tortured my soul for nothing?
But in the time period in which he lived, he was probably the best boy they could have had.
That he could have possibly hoped to be. Jordan, that's it?
Yeah, that's my rant.
That's Old Yeller.
One day you'll have to watch it. I think this video is
going to be Jordan didn't care for Old Yeller, and we're going to see just how many people like Old Yeller.
How many people are on my side and think that the little brother makes that movie almost unwatchable.
Old Yeller is bad, actually? No.
No, Justin. Old Yeller is bad, actually, and not for the reasons you think.
I mean, I'm just going to call it Jordan Hates Old Yeller, because I think that's funny. And then I'm
no, see, but that's a misnomer, because I don't dislike the dog. I dislike the little brother.
I mean, Jordan, I think you underestimate how clickbait works. It's clickbait, Jordan. So my first thing that I hadn't seen was, it's a sequel to a movie I talked about before, and as a result, don't have a ton to say about. This is Peter Rabbit 2, second Peter Rabbit. And the plot of this is now, it's, I think, a year later after the first one. And
I didn't even realize there was a second one.
Yes, it's called Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway. And
Didn't he run away in the first one? Wasn't that the idea? No, I'm thinking of the Easter Bunny one.
You were thinking of the Easter Bunny one.
Right.
This so now in this universe now, Peter Rabbit is a book series written by Beatrix Potter. And Beatrix Potter exists in this movie, played by Rose Byrne, and she's married to Mr. McGregor, the young Mr. McGregor. And now in this one, the book has now come out and is quite successful. And everyone is... Basically, Peter Rabbit's character arc throughout this is everyone treats him as though he's a mischievous, precocious, bad boy character, and he becomes offended by that. So he joins up with a gang of other animals who are all thieves who claim, the one rabbit claims to know his dad. And the movie...
So wait. He has a identity of being a troublemaker.
Yes.
So to get rid of the reputation of being a troublemaker...
No, not get rid of.
He goes and becomes a troublemaker.
No, the idea is, if everyone thinks I'm going to be bad, I might as well be bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
And these movies are funny because they're self-aware. There's so many moments where characters just, like, there's a point where the Beatrix, she sells her book to a publisher who is constantly trying to change the book, like give her feedback and change the book to the point where it gets super far away from the original idea of what the story is. And at one point, he's like, yeah, I just imagine that Peter has this really annoying voice and that his voice is super annoying. And he's like, you don't think my voice is annoying, do you? And then he looks right into the camera. And then at the end, it ends with her writing the sequel to the book that she wrote. She calls it the name of the movie, which is Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway. And Peter Rabbit's like, I like the title. It says that it's the second one and, suggests the potential at future ones, but also says that we're content with the ones that we're surprised that we got to make the ones that we did get to make. And there's all sorts of really funny, there's a running subplot where the crow, not the crow, the rooster, he now has kids because at the end of the last one he has kids, so now he has kids and they're all motivated to crow, and he wakes up one morning and he's all like hoarse and he can't his voice, he's lost his voice, and the sun comes up anyway, and he's like, oh no, the sun came out. It's basically Rockadoodle, where he's like, my life has no meaning. You know, if I'm not the one making the sunrise, what do I have in my life? And so the ending credits is all of his children all now crow, and at the same time the sprinklers all turn on. He's like, oh, you're crowing, activated the sprinklers. There is a point in life. Everyone, let's go, let's do this, let's crow, let's do this. And they all start crowing. It's really funny.
That's cute. That's cute.
It's also kind of a confusing movie because like the whole bit is they can talk, the animals can talk, but they don't want people to know that they can talk. So I think that was the thing at the end of the last one where he talks to Mr. McGregor and then he manages to convince him, gaslight him into thinking that he's imagined it. So he talks to him again in this one, and he's like, no, I didn't talk to you. You're dreaming or imagining or whatever. There's a funny bit. There's a pig who he's narcissistic. So there's a point where he's putting lipstick on, and they're all wearing clothes. All the animals wear clothes, but nobody questions it because it's that kind of movie. And
of course it is.
I'm going to say what I said about the first one, which is that I know this is a controversial opinion. I know this is a hot take, and it makes Jake and Haley cringe every time I say it. But I don't hate James Corden, and I think he's funny in this.
Do we hate James Corden?
Everyone hates James Corden because he's a massive douche nozzle, But
I mean, sure, you can. Here's what I'll say in regards to that. You can not like a person in real life, but still recognize that they have talent.
I've never seen. I mean, there's been a few times where like my personal favorite James Corden clip of like, this is why people don't like James Corden, he's lame, is on his late night show. He would do these bits where we would have celebrities do these funny bits, but he would insist on participating even if it wasn't funny. So like there's a lot of ones where he sings songs with so there's one he did with the Jonas Brothers where he had the Jonas Brothers playing together for the first time in like forever, and they're singing a new version of the year 3000, and they're doing the little intro, and then all of a sudden James Corden comes out, and you're like, oh, okay, you just kind of made this lame. He's a guy who thinks he's cool when he's not.
He's narcissistic.
Yeah, he's very narcissistic. At least he comes across as such. So like, I understand why people don't like him, but I've never disliked him in anything, and I like these movies. I think they're funny. I think they're clever and they're funny. But I get it. It's one of those movies where I get why people don't like these, but I think they're funny. I don't have much. That's it. That's Peter Rabbit.
Yeah. Okay. My last one.
I got way more on
this. Okay, well that's good because my last one I don't have much to say. What do you know about Lassie?
That she comes home, and that little Timmy fell down a well.
I mean, he didn't in this one, but so it's funny because Lassie is one of those dog things in media where it's like
I've seen the '90s movie.
I know
Years
of
ago.
her. I know that she's like, she's your quintessential dog that rescues the human character.
Yeah, pretty much.
But prior to this, I can't think of anything that I had ever actually watched her in.
Just that '90s movie.
It's just one of those
time where like in the '90s, I think it was '90s. Pretty sure it was late '90s. They remade a bunch of animal character stuff. So like Lassie got a remake, Flipper got a remake. We didn't even talk about Flipper. Flipper got a remake. A bunch of them got a remake, and yeah, that's the only one I know.
Yeah, and so that's where it's interesting because this is a remake.
Yeah.
This is a remake of your classic. Hold on, it's like 1943 film. Lassie Come Home. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Because yeah, that's what Snoopy Come Home. That's making fun of Lassie Come Home.
Oh, interesting.
That's where the title. That's what the title comes from. I didn't realize it was a movie from the. You said 40s.
1943.
I wonder if it's like the first. Surely it must be one of the first Animal Rescues You movies.
Probably.
She's an iconic dog though. Like Yeah, I didn't
Apparently,
realize it was a movie. I thought it was a show.
it was based on a book of the
Oh,
same name,
really? Oh, okay, man. I know nothing about Lassie other than she's a
by
border collie.
Eric Knight. She's not a border
Isn't she a border
collie.
collie? Oh no, no, not a no. Sorry, she's a collie though. Not a border collie, but she's a collie.
She is a collie, but I don't think
Not a
it's
border
border
collie. She's a
collie.
shepherd collie. No,
The problem is all of these names are German.
let's look it up. Let's see who can figure this out first.
What is
Go away.
Lassie?
What kind of dog is Lassie? Rough collie.
She is a rough collie.
She's a rough collie. I knew she was a collie.
All I know is that it's a beautiful kind of dog.
Known for their long, dense coat, rough, and a long,
Yeah.
fine snout.
So yeah, this one's a remake, but what was kind of weird for me is it was a German remake.
So was it in German?
It originally was.
Oh, you watched the dub though.
I watched the dub.
Gotcha.
But but like all the names are.
So is it little Heinrich falls down a well?
You got Florian Flo Maurer.
Little Heinrich.
You've got Andreas Maurer, Sandra Maurer, Priscilla von Sprengel, Graf von Sprengel, Butler Gerhardt, Hausmeister.
And
so
trying to pronounce these names.
You get the idea that
every single one of them.
They're all German, and that's not even me trying to read their actual actors' names.
You need to. See
But otherwise, as far as I can tell, it loosely follows the original story, where in this version, the owners of Lassie, the two people, and the pregnant mom, dad, and kid have to.
Wait, the kid's pregnant?
The kid is no, Justin, you smartass.
You said
the kid is there.
Mom and kid. The kid is dead.
I said what? I said pregnant mom, and then I said also dad and kid. They have to give away Lassie. Basically, they have to let her. She's staying with, I think it's like his boss or something. I have to be honest. It being dubbed made it a little hard to follow at times.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Because for whatever reason, when you dub something into English, it completely throws the pacing of dialogue off. It doesn't matter how good the dubbing is. I find the same thing with Family Pack, where you're just like, it's not. It's making the dialogue and the story hard to follow, because you're just like, this is not how people talk in English.
And there's also just times where, like, for an example in this one,
exactly what you mean.
The kid the voice sounds too old for the body that it's coming from.
Oh yeah, that also. Yeah, there's sometimes where you get like adult women playing children, and you're like, this doesn't.
It sounded like it was still a guy, like it's still a boy, it's still a guy, but like the kid in the movie looks like he's supposed to be like 10 or 11, and it sounds.
Out.
The voice sounds like it's like 13, 14.
Yeah, I know exactly.
And it pulls me out. It just doesn't quite match well enough. But I can't hold that against the story. That's just a thing which distracted me. But so they have to leave Lassie with basically a different family, and there's a little girl who is supposed to be looking after Lassie. And then Lassie ends up breaking out and is trying to make her way back home. And so...
Yeah, see, Snoopy Come Home is literally... Yeah, that's definitely... No way that's not a parody of Lassie Comes Home.
Oh, definitely, I would say it is, considering Lassie is with a girl and then is trying to get home to a boy, just like Snoopy.
Wait, is the girl in a hospital?
No, that's no. They live on like a farm or something. And so, yeah, no. Lassie is trying to make her way home. She ends up for a little while with this circus lady who is kind to her, and then ultimately the dad and the mom are like, yeah, we're going to be moving to this other place where we can have Lassie, and the kid refuses to move, like doesn't want to leave until they find Lassie, because they're like, if we do leave, then Lassie will keep trying to find me, and and she never will be able to because we won't live there anymore. Um, and by the end of it, I was like, this is cute. Like it's fine. It's just weird that it's in German
Yeah, fair
originally.
enough. So, I mean, again,
Um,
this is the AI overview, so mound of salt. But according to this, yeah, Snoopy Come Home was very much inspired by Lassie Come Home.
Interesting. Interesting. I believe it. And I wouldn't have thought that, but like once you say that, it
I
just
just
you
assumed
can
that the
see
title.
it
I assumed that the title was just a loose reference to it, and obviously the plot is about. But I didn't realize how much of the plot is literally pulled from.
is influenced by
Yeah,
it.
that's interesting.
Um, so yeah, I mean, it was fine.
See,
Um,
I thought I could have sworn Lassie was a television show, not a
it's
movie.
just like I said. I mean, I think it also was
Was it? Oh, okay. Because yeah, I remember it being a show. I didn't realize it was a movie. I didn't realize
like
Lassie was so old. I learned a
when
thing
you
this week,
look up
guys.
when you look up Lassie. There's a lot of things that come
Yeah,
up
well, she's an iconic character. Absolute
between
iconic character.
books and yeah, there were shows, there was movies.
Yeah.
Because there's more than one movie.
If
There's
you
like
don't
this
know
was
what Lassie is, you recognize the name.
uh the yeah, absolutely.
Even if you don't know
Uh
anything about it, you know it's probably a dog, and it's a yeah.
the
You know the
the
name.
Lassie Comes Home movie appears to be the first thing of Lassie when it comes to that medium. Then there's 7 additional films,
Really?
including a sequel which is entitled Son of Lassie.
Huh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
There's a
there's a show that they made a
there's
movie in the '90s, and I'm pretty sure there's a show that's based on that movie.
there's a radio series, the Lassie radio show,
Yeah, it just feels like
um,
when you don't see the dog, it loses something.
and then between 1954 and 1973, there was the television series Lassie.
Yeah, see, yeah, that's what I remember. I remember there being a show,
Um,
black and white. I think initially.
it,
That's where the gang that Little Timmy is down the
Lassie
well comes
was
from.
Lassie was on a farm with a young male master, and then in the 11th season, it changed to U.S. Forest Service Rangers. That's weird.
All right.
Yeah, no, Lassie has a long, storied history, and I could sit here and talk about a lot of it. They had animated series as well. Like, there's just a lot,
Jordan, is
a
that it?
lot.
Do you have
Yeah.
anything else?
Apparently, she got a fun. Here's a fun fact: she's one of only 4 animals to be awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Oh, good for her. I'm sure she deserves it. Jordan, my final movie. My final movie of the week. Now, I'm not sure if you've seen this or not. This feels like a real shot. Jordan, have you seen Spirit, Stalin... oh, sorry, hold on. Let me do that. Jordan, have you seen Spirit, Stallion of the... Simran? I don't know how to pronounce that word.
No, but I think I remember that there being commercials for that on a lot of our Shrek movies. That's a DreamWorks one, right?
That is absolutely a DreamWorks one. It is about a horse. In the basically the log line of this is it's a Wild West movie told from the perspective of a horse, and it's about his misadventures. You see him as a kid. He eventually gets horse napped by. It takes place during the Civil War, I think. Yeah, yeah, because they look like they're not Confederate, but the other guys. That's what they're.
Oh yeah. Sorry, real quick to jump back. That was a weird thing that happened in the very beginning of I believe it was Old Yeller, where one of the kids, or the older kid or whatever, is talking to the little kid. He's like, yeah, we don't. Dad has to go away on this thing because we don't have a lot of money. He only has Confederate dollars.
Oh
They make like a
no.
direct reference to Confederate dollars in
um.
some regard, and it's just like, oh, that
Yeah.
really dates this.
So yeah. So the horse he gets taken by soldiers, who are like, any horse is capable of being broken or whatever, and whilst he's with these soldiers, he eventually gets saved by a native fellow who is the kind of tribe he is kind of important. Hold on.
I'm not even gonna make a guess because it will just be offensive.
That's why I want to make sure I get it right because I don't want to say it wrong. Lakota. He's a part of the Lakota tribe, and he rescues. I'm gonna call him by what the name he eventually gets. He doesn't have a name for most of the movie, but I'm gonna call him Spirit because that's what his name eventually becomes. And the native guy is Little Creek. Saves him and takes him back to his tribe and attempts to tame him by introducing him to his horse. And
He tries to break his spirit, if you will.
yeah, no, not break his spirit because that's what the white man was trying to do. Was trying to break his spirit by like not feeding him and not whatever they were trying to break him. He's trying to tame him by being nice to him and becoming his friend. And he's got a pet mare named Rain, and he attaches Rain to Spirit and attempts to. And the big thing about this movie is the animals don't talk. They largely are treated as though within the movie itself as though they're regular horses, except for like the big brag. The number one, Jeffrey Katzenberg really wanted to make this movie for some reason. He was really passionate about it, and the big brag of this movie is that the horses aren't anthropomorphic. Like they really wanted a desire to not have these animals be like cartoon. They didn't want like a funny cartoon sidekick, like a Timon or
They didn't want a Finding Nemo.
yeah. The big thing is they wanted this movie to be serious and the tone to be serious and
Sounds boring.
But the thing is, the horses are still anthropomorphic. They still have human emotions and human motivations, and they have human expressions. So there's a lot of points where like they do expressions at each other and then they make horse sounds. So like the horses are still anthropomorphic. They just don't talk, to the detriment of the movie, because the horse characters they don't get a lot of character moments because there's no dialogue. But they're still anthropomorphic, so there's no point in them not talking. Like there's a scene where the mare Rain is trying to lead, and they're in horse language, having like you don't get me, no, like that kind of like antagonist. Like it's very similar to like in Prince of Egypt when he first meets Tipora.
Zipporah, yeah.
Yeah. Like that kind of antagonistic female-male relationship. Like that's the kind of relationship they have, but they don't get to speak or talk. And it's like, oh, this would be so. And so it's really funny. One of the reviews was like, ironically, this movie would be much better if you put in a funny animal sidekick. Like if like to the detriment of the movie, the characters, not speaking kind of hinders it a bit. But it's also gorgeously animated. It's beautiful. This was a movie though that made me go, I don't think it needs to be animated. Like, there's no real reason for it to be animated. The horses are basically just regular horses.
The only reason you would have it be animated is if you were going to have the animals talk.
Right. Well, the only reason why
really the only reason you would do it
is because the characters have anthropomorphic expressions. But if you're gonna make the characters have anthropomorphic expression and identity and motivations anyway, then they might as well talk. And you could tell that became apparent in test screenings, because for whatever reason the movie is narrated by Matt Damon as the horse. And Matt Damon in narration as the horse explains characters' names, who they are, motivations, and all this stuff that anthropomorphizes him, that you could tell that this narration was added in post. It comes across like they put this through test screenings and the kids were like, I don't get it. Why doesn't the horse talk? And so they've added it in a like third or fourth final run through of adding in edits. Like it definitely comes across like this was something that was added in later to help explain the movie. Because otherwise the first 50, number one, it's only like an hour and 10 minutes. And the first like 10 minutes of it is just horses. And to the movie, again, to the movie's credit, they behave like horses would. But it's like, well, why not just go out into the woods and like...
Are you okay?
Yeah. God, burp. Why not just go out into the woods and film horses. It just seems like it would have been cheaper than spending the money on animating this movie.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in school and we were learning animation, the one thing my teacher would always say is, if you're going to be doing animation, the point of animation is to do things that you cannot just do in real life.
Right. And so
If
much of
if
this
you're
movie you could just do in
if
real
you're
life.
if you're going to have these animals and you want to have them act like animals, then just go out and film animals.
Right. But they act like cute. Like, again, there's so many moments in this movie. Like, there's like the beginning of it, you're waiting for the characters to talk, and then they just never do. It has that kind of setup, and so just the characters not talking doesn't work in the context of this movie.
That would drive me crazy.
It's really frustrating, and it's frustrating because the rest of the movie, again, it's gorgeous. The animation is gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's one of those 2000s, like, I think this came out in early 2000s. It's one of those animated movies where they gave the soundtrack to a random musical celebrity. So the soundtrack is just a Bryan Adams album. Bryan Adams. Who do you know? I can't think of a Bryan Adams song you would know. He's one of those actors. He's one of those singers that you know. I think it was Born to Run. I'll show you a Bryan Adams song later, but you know him. The Canadian government has apologized for him on plenty of occasions. But there's a lot of there's like 4 or 5 within the first 15, 20 minutes. There's like 3 Bryan Adams needle drops. And it's like, oh yeah, this, like, the music is good. It's good music. It's good songs. It's just, yeah, I wish this movie was 15 minutes longer and the horses talked. It would be a much
No.
and
No. The Canadian government has apologized for him on multiple occasions.
I think because this movie has 2 sequels. One where it's the spirit's kid. So I think in subsequent movies based on this franchise, I think the horses talk. Not actually looking it up. I'm pretty sure they talk. But yeah, I thought it was all right. The only reason why I didn't dislike it more is because it was short. I'm just being, and no, that was the other bit. The thing about the horses not talking that is frustrating for me is you're like, okay, yeah, you want this to be realistic, except for the Lakota all speak English, like they all, and which would make sense. It's a kids movie, but they all speak English and all speak English with like English like sounding colloquialisms and like speech patterns, like not like, you know what I mean? So it's like, well, if you're gonna be realistic, then be realistic. Like, if you're gonna have the characters basically be Americans, then why not have the horses talk? The horse should have talked. That's it. That's Spirit. Jordan, what do you think next week is gonna be?
Well,
It doesn't matter what you think the next week is going to be, because we're doing professional wrestling. We're doing professional wrestling next week. We're going to have our friend Jake come on, and we're going to teach your dumbass about professional wrestling.
that was rude.
Is what it was.
So then, by the end of it, he's going to take the belt from you. I don't know what belt. I don't know how.
He's going to take
but
the belt from me.
He's going to take the belt from you.
I'm going to retain the belt, whatever belt there is, because I am the champion of the spur of the moment.
The metaphorical belt.
The metaphorical belt. So Jordan, here's the rules though.
Do you think we have actual belt money? We don't have actual belt money.
To make things easier for you, Jordan, I've compiled a list.
It's not in the budget
of professional wrestling things for you to watch that we may share some stuff. But we will have, I want to push it to 12, so it's like 6 each, but it might only be 10 professional wrestling things. But you will have to watch at least 3 professional wrestling matches. And you will have to say who is fighting, and you are going to have to the best of your ability, recap the match.
Why you gotta take a thing that should be fun and turn it into homework?
Because it's what I do. And also, I'm gonna give you a few episodes of Dark Side of the Ring. I've got a list. I've got a list going. That's next week. Jake will be here. We're gonna talk about and I'm also gonna be on. You know, might as well hawk this. We're also gonna talk about Ultimate Muscle and Kanuka Man. That's gonna be one thing. But I'm gonna be on Down the Middle talking about Ultimate Muscle on Thursday, to do the prelude to what's coming on Sunday. Professional wrestling. Get excited. I'm going to finally talk about No Holds Barred. Jordan, that's a movie where they pretend that professional wrestling is real.
What are you talking about?
Oh, it is real. No, you're right. Kayfabe. Right, kayfabe. Gotta maintain kayfabe.
Fade.
Oh, don't you worry, Jordan. You're gonna learn what kayfabe is. Because I'm gonna make you watch.
Ring.
I'm gonna make you watch.
Page match.
I'm gonna.
These are all terms that exist.
Putting over.
Flying battery run.
I'm sure that's a move. Don't worry, Jordan. I'm gonna get you to watch an episode of Dark Side of the Ring that explains kayfabe. Don't you worry. So you'll know all these things. Because next week it's gonna be about learning. We're finally doing the professional wrestling episode. That's next Sunday.
So I have to learn about kayfabe Demon Hunter.
Yeah, no. Stop. You should feel it. Jordan, where can they find you?
Other than here, I do Minecraft Monday on my Twitch, ZethGore187 every Monday. Be there or don't.
You can find me on TikTok. It's Justin Spurr, or the show is on TikTok, Spur of the Moment Pete. You can email the show. It's justinsbusiness@gmail.com. Patreon. Join the Discord. I'm on weekly where I always forget to mention this. I'm on a show called the Final Frontier podcast where we talk about Star Trek every week. You can check me out on that. That comes out. Our schedule might be changing, but it usually comes out on Mondays at 6 p.m. Western Time, Pacific Standard Time. Jordan, if the people wanted to see last week's episode, which box would they click?
Well, it's not the right one, so it must be the left.
And if they click the box on the right, was that going to get them?
The right one, YouTube will tell them what they should watch.
Jordan, why should people subscribe? How many videos a week do we put out?
Every single day.
There's a new video every single day.
Every single day there is something to watch.
There's something to watch on this channel. Or you could leave the video a like. That helps us out too. Like, comment. Leave us a comment. Have you seen any of these cute animal movies? Let us know what you're thinking in comments.
Are there any we missed that you think that the next time we do something animal related we should watch?
That's true. Is there a cute animal movie that you would maybe recommend? But next week, professional wrestling. We will see you all next week. Have a good day, everybody.